What's going on, Prophecy Cup? We've
How's it
got
going, guys?
match 4 of week 2 of season 6. It's a lot of numbers, but it's the leftover lads versus the Busaders. The Busaders. I'm T Crank, and I'm casting with my man I
I
Glory
glory.
from Vortex, and he's making his casting debut. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Never done any casting before, so bear with me. Sorry
Yes,
if I make
sir.
any mistakes. I'll do my best to keep it going smoothly, though.
And keep me in track too, cause I go off the rails.
I can. I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
All right, I'll hold you accountable for that. But taking a look at both of these teams, we're looking at leftover lads. They're going to choose the red side because they have side selection, and that means the Busaders are going to be in blue. And there's going to be some substitutions coming out for the Busaders. Nugfugler is having connection issues due to a storm, so Drowsy's coming in hot with the sub. And I don't know what role he's going, but they'll
Yeah,
just pick their roles.
Crusaders kind of hop around roles, it seems, every once in a while. So I know when we played against them, I'm pretty sure D5 Police was playing mid lane. Nugfugler was top. Now it looks like he switched over to the top lane, but who knows where everybody's going.
Yeah, my team has scrimmed them too, and they just like have so many different combinations of roles they can play. It's a little bit of a X factor that they have that they can swap roles and pull out all these random champions.
Yeah, it's hard to prepare for them, because they all have different champ pools, and I know this is one of the big teams that likes to play mages in the bot lane, and that can really throw teams for a swing.
Yeah, and looks like they only have 4 players in the lobby right now, but they should have someone coming soon. I don't know where Nova Typhoon is, but I'm sure he just shows up as I say his name like that. But okay, so he's gonna be playing for their team, and I don't know what roles they're gonna have, but looks like Drowsy could potentially be mid lane.
It looks like that's how they're lining it up, unless they have to rearrange everything here. But I mean, Nova is still down in the ADC spot. I'm fairly certain he's probably going to keep holding it down in the jungle. He had a pretty stellar performance last week, I think, with the highest KDA in the league. So see if he can transition that one.
Yeah, I think he had only 1 death in his series, and in 2 losses he had a crazy performance. So
Yeah,
ban Zag.
definitely. Hey, you know what? Banning the Nunu and Willem seemed to work. So
Yeah,
maybe it's the mind game of just letting him be a big impact player, but winning another points of the map. Maybe the Nunu is just a little bit more hard to handle for some teams. You might not have as much experience against it.
yeah. I even noticed myself too. Like when I'm first a Nunu, like I don't expect to still get run down that hard. Like, do you ever
Yeah,
get run down by a Nunu and you're like, huh? I'm surprised it actually happened.
and I don't know how exactly it is for a lot of players, but I don't see Nunu getting played all that much, and it's really a hit or miss of if he's going to come in and just take over the game, or if he's just going to be season 7 cleanse TP, just running it down mid Nunu.
The optimized inting champion.
Exactly. You never know what you're gonna get when it plays. So if you get a good one, it can definitely take over a game.
Yeah, he's a little bit scary. I still think Zac is just a better champion overall, and such longer range initiation, whereas Nunu like has to take a lot of time to actually get on top of you. But if he
Hmm.
does get on top of you, he still has he has that root with his E, and he has some extra burst damage with his Chomp. And his ulti is just the same, except now he gets a shield, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique champion too. And both champions have really awkward gank paths. It's hard to ward against them because Nunu can just run you right down from lane. It's almost like a Scion, except you don't get the preemptive, horn going off, letting you know that he's coming towards you. And
Yeah,
Zac, he can come from all kinds of different bushes, and you really have to be coordinated as a team to play against it.
you need like Ultra Instinct 200 IQ and like to see how their bot lane's playing, and then being like, oh wait, Nunu's definitely about to run us down mid or bot lane, and then 2 seconds later it happens and you die, and you're like, oh, I knew it, I knew it. Should have just ran away, or should have played farther back. But yeah, we'll see what happens with these bans. They do have blue side, so leftover lads could definitely ban both on red, or ban 3 junglers, or just ban none and see what they prioritize the most.
Yeah, they might just look at Nova and see that, maybe his champ pool is a little bit too big. Trying to take away too many gives too many comfortable champs for the rest of the team, so they might not even focus too heavy on it unless they have something very specific that they can't play against or don't want to play against.
Yeah, personally, I think his Hecarim is really good. So if you ban Nunu and Zac, you're most likely going to play against a Hecarim, and Hecarim's really scary. From my experience over the past like patch or two, just like he's been played a bit more, and he just seems to like pop off every single game no matter what happens.
Yeah, with the mana buff to it, his Q, he has a lot easier time clearing, which is what really held him out of the jungle for so long. He just couldn't compete with these other high pressure junglers that could also clear pretty well. You have your Trundle and Trundle and Sejuani and things like that can just put pressure in lanes while also clearing the jungle fairly quick. Now that he can go through it and not have to worry about mana issues, definitely made him a very formidable jungler.
And as we saw in NA Gauntlet, it's also an Aatrox counter in the top lane. So now it's a flexible pick, which just adds an extra little bit of layer to the draft. But I doubt either of these players actually do it. Oh, so like looking at the role orders here, Busaders could potentially just be putting Folknugler back in top lane and Drowsy AD carry, but like both of them have swapped from top to AD carry, so they both play both roles. So like they could just be psyching the enemy team out by doing this.
Yeah, I know Fug did pretty well last season in top lane, so it won't be too much of a change for him. Drowsy, I haven't played or seen too much of him, so I'm not sure how he will do on the ADC role. But if they can flex some different champions in that bot lane, you can definitely make this draft in your favor.
Yeah, Drowsy and Fug were both on Gothboy Click last season, so they were. There's some synergy going out there. Yo, Nova, we just talked about you for like 5 minutes, bro. We don't need to give you a shout out. We just talked about you for 5 minutes, all right? We said how great your Nunu was, how great your Zac was, how great your Hecarim is. I don't know any of your other champions though, but starting to pick and bans here. Psych
I'm
chimps.
interested to see how leftover lads do, how they want to play around their bot lane. Last week they looked like they wanted to play with the hyperscaling ADCs and some, shielders bot, but it didn't seem to work out too well. They got flashes blown early both games, so hopefully they can either get some vision early or get some strong laning for the bot lane so they can be a little bit more independent.
Yeah, they got clapped by who is that again? Oh, Bad Boys bot lane last week. So that's and they also have 2 new players. They've got Babs 2424. I think he was like isn't he like a Vortex guy? He's in that group of people.
I personally don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
anything about Babs.
you're one of the newer
I'm the
Vortex
new
folks.
addition, so
But he was like a sub
he
for their
hasn't
team
been
a while
there.
ago. And then their support O2 Nix, he's a new guy. So let's see how they perform as first pick Morgana. And
Always a strong pick. It stops any sort of hard engaged supports.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that oh whoops, wrong teams. But on my overlay, but I'm surprised about the red side Kaisa ban because I don't think they'll prioritize it that highly on blue side, the Kaisa. I feel like there's a lot of other champions who could first pick, but they're gonna get an Urgot, so that's a really strong top laner. I think Roxas is like one of the highest elo tops in the league, so if he can play carries pretty well, and especially carries that can transition into more of like a bruiser tanky role, then this champion could be like a perfect fit for him.
Absolutely. And last week, he played really well on that Urgot top. He was getting a lot of pressure on the Scion, but it's so hard to push a Scion out of the lane and just get too much of an advantage because he can just eat pressure so well. And I think they need to use Roxas to really snowball a lead and move it into the bot lane because it didn't seem to transition too well last week.
Oh, there's the
There's the
Hecarim
Hecarim.
pick. And they've got a Black Shield to synergize with it. And lastly, they're going to go with the Varus. So strong bottom lane. A lot of gank setup for the Hecarim.
Yeah, they've already got 3 champions that they can use as an engage, so Now they can look to just round out with some DPS and maybe a tank top lane, which would make their comp look pretty strong.
Lucian's a very interesting 80 carry pick into these two champions. I would definitely. I'm surprised that Asterisk is going for that, and because he's gonna get outranged by two champions essentially. He has to play lane. He has to have a really aggressive support to pair with him in order to make this work, I think.
Yeah, and you might usually would want to pair it with somebody that can do it hard engage, but when you have a Morgana down there, now you're just gonna need a heavy poke, aggressive support, maybe like a Zyra or even like a Bard or something, just something that can get in there in their face and pressure the Varus and Morgana off, or else Lucian's gonna have a rough time in the first couple levels.
Yeah, Morgana is just the biggest blocker in the whole world. Prevents you from really doing anything. And Swain ban. Guess they're scared of Swain top or something from Fugnuggler.
He has been known to pull it out. He's played it bot. I think he played it at least once last year in top lane as well. So last season rather.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't see it happening, but there's always that like 1% chance that somebody's gonna pull out the poke Varus mid.
Oh yeah, the very niche counter pick Varus mid. You
Mm-hmm.
could pick it into like Azir or Vel'Koz. That's about it, really.
Or I think he can even try and squeeze it in there against maybe like a Xerath, but
Oh yeah, it's also true. But Otinek's going with the Bard. I think I've seen him play Bard before, but this is sort of a good pick to go against the Morgana because you can auto attack. Basically, you'll tear down the Black Shield after one auto attack.
yeah, and especially if you're not, putting a couple extra points in that Black Shield early, you can really use that Bard to pressure off Morgan. Even if Astrus is feeling like he's able to, kind of freeze it just outside his tower, that Bard can look to roam mid and try and put pressure on the Akali that needs those early levels to really start ramping up.
Ooh, spicy last phase from the Busaders with the Akali Jax. So Jax is going to go into that top lane against the Urgot, and Bab's going to hover the LeBlanc here for himself. And this comp from Leftover Lads going super aggressive. They don't really have any tankiness, and they're going to rely a lot on this Kindred ultimate to actually keep them alive.
Yeah, they're looking like they're trying to snowball. If I don't see a lead out of, this red side here with the leftover lads, I can see this going poorly. But if they get any sort of lead, if they get control over top of the Crusaders jungle, they can just run over this game in 25 minutes. So it's gonna be on the junglers here to put some high pressure early and get their laners ahead.
Yeah, Akali a good pick, or LeBlanc a good pick into Akali, historically I believe. It's like one of the best matchups for LeBlanc. So if Kindred and LeBlanc can get this mid 2v2, they should just run over the game. And they do have to be careful about late game because with the Akali and the Jax, there's definitely the late game should be in the favor of Busaders. I would probably say, but there is a Kindred. I don't know how well Urgot scales, but he gets tanky for sure.
He's a good champion, I believe, into tanks in the late game because of his passive, how he does the percent health. And they don't really have too many overly tanky champions on the side of Crusaders. So it'll be interesting to see how he builds and if he wants to go for a split push or if he like the 1v1 against Jax to try and survive and nullify it in the late game, or if he's going to look to try and just, be that enormous threat in the team fight, trying to find an ult and fear everyone off.
It's definitely a new look from Leftover Lads with this Bard and with these aggressive champions.
I like the change of pace for them. Last week I wasn't too impressed with the Janna and the Lulu. They looked like they were just getting heavily pressured, and I know Ropey was putting a lot of pressure on them bot lane, so it did make it a little bit difficult for them. But I think if you give them a little bit more opportunity to be aggressive, it looked like they like to play through the bot lane and try and get them a lead with at least with the champion choices. So just maybe they can use that extra pressure to get the lead that they were trying to last week.
This is going to be an interesting game because I think both junglers can gank just about every single lane. LeBlanc can set up pretty well for Kindred. Urgot has the flip and stuff. And Hecarim can just like go anywhere he wants. With the Ghost, he's going to be incredibly fast. He'll have Predator most likely.
Yeah, these early levels between the Kindred and the Hecarim, what they're trying to get, Hecarim wants to rush a few camps down so he can get those Predator boots, and Kindred's looking for those early stacks to try and get her passive up to those first level there before she can really start ramping up.
Yeah, I think Psych Chimps definitely should look to play aggressive, look to get some invades, and try to catch Alf Nova Typhoon while he's trying to farm. And make sure he just can't gank lanes. Because as a Hecarim, if you get invaded, you're and if you can't gank, you're not very useful.
Exactly. If you're going to get into a farming war between a Kindred and a Hecarim, I'm going to pick the Kindred 10 out of 10 times. That champion, when she's able to farm up and not get too pressured in her jungle, is just extremely oppressive when you get to about the 20-minute mark. So you're going to have to look at the LeBlanc and the Urgot, I think, to try and get the lane pressure. I could see Varus Morgana in the bot lane really having the, maybe not the 1, 2, 3 levels, but 4 to 6, I could see them having the pressure down there before Lucian can get his Cutlass and Bard gets a couple more meeps to have his poke be a little bit more potent. So the top and mid are going to have to help the Kindred out to get her stacks and the Gromp or the Wolves and things like that.
Are you Canadian, eh?
I definitely am Canadian. Very easy to tell, I'm sure.
All you have to say is out or about, and you can tell.
As somebody who, I'm sure it's the same with any sort of accent, but as somebody who says it regularly, I can't tell that. I try and say it normal, but I'm sure it comes off as a clear accent to those who are not used to it.
See, we say out and about, you say oot and a boot.
Exactly, we gotta go up on the roof.
On the roof?
On the roof, eh?
On the roof?
And just to make matters worse, I live close to Michigan, so we get the big A's and that too.
Oh, the A.
Or you go out get some milk.
Milk? Oh, God.
Pap.
Oh, God.
Both teams here seem like they have a half decent level 1, so it'll be interesting to see if either of them tries to look for an invade. They have the Q from Morgana if they want to go for it, but they also have the extra damage from the Bard auto early, so.
Yeah, and an extra marksman with Kindred. But looks like both teams are going to go for a 5-point. Pretty standard.
It's unfortunate the Kindred's not moving up mid lane a little bit more to see that there's nobody there. They could look to try and get some vision, or should to be careful about a 3-man trying to push in towards where the LeBlanc is to get some vision on the red of the Raptors. Doesn't look like either team wants to be aggressive though.
Yeah, it would be nice to see the Kindred move up, and they could definitely take advantage of that Hecarim not scouting at all. And they could get a vision advantage out of it, but they're not going to. Just going to play it safe. Kindred's going to go to the red buff to start. So both junglers are going to start on top side. John Lee is looking for some binding.
Looks like both bot lanes want to try and go for that early cheese level 2.
So Tunic's going to get caught out by a binding, but a double stun coming out is going to keep him safe. Nothing too much will come from it though. Bard will probably just get his healing shrine level 2 and try and get back some sustain there. Both supports. Yeah, both supports had to use a potion. That's all that happened. And oh, another stun. This Bard is getting a lot of damage out.
good to note right now that Drowsy is running the. He's not running the poke rune there. He's running the. I can't even think of the name of it, but he's looking like he's gonna go for the on-hit build, the Blade of the Rune King Ginsu's.
Yeah, with the lethal tempo keystone coming out.
There you go. That's the word.
People were trying the Comet build, but they realized, you know what? You don't do enough damage late game consistently, and with lethal tempo or with the on-hit build, you just max Q, and your Q still does a ton of damage. So you can still go the on-hit build and have a really powerful Q.
Yeah, that buff to the Q plus the the changes to the W really put that back into being a possibility to max first. You don't have to go the E in the W anymore. You can kind of mix it up depending on what your team needs.
Yeah, the Q is so much pressure. And oh, here comes the Bard stun, and Kindra's going to look for that level 2 gank. Astra's flashes forward, and now if John Lee has no way to get out, just uses the flash, but Kindred has the hop, and the proc on the E will get the first blood for Kindred.
Unfortunately, though, he wasn't able to get that mark onto the Morgana before he got the kills, so just a kill out of it, no mark, and then the mark spawned on the top side, so he didn't get either one of those, but the kill is still nice, and he's going to use that pretty well, I'm sure.
Yeah, and he's also pressuring Hecarim off of the Raptors, too. I think he's actually taking them, and yeah, he is. So that's an extra camp that he's going to deny from the Hecarim. That'll put him at a big lead. He can also run straight to the top side of the map and take that Scuttle. Scuttle Crab for his first stack. And things are looking pretty good, but Hecarim, they know Hecarim is down there, so they should expect a Hecarim looking for a gank.
Yeah, especially knowing that he took camp from the Raptors.
Yeah, and let's see where's Hecarim going. He gets slowed immediately, but he's not even going to get the E off, but he's still looking for auto attacks. Going to get a little bit of poke out, but nothing really is going to come out of it. So, a little bit of a awkward gank. I would have liked to see Nova Typhoon use the Ghost right there. He would have probably gotten the movement speed necessary to actually hit that charge. Maybe not, though.
It definitely would have been risky, but you got to realize that the Lucian didn't have a flash, so it would have been nice to see them put a little bit more into that, knowing that he didn't have any escape there.
Yeah, burning the Ghost would be super important. Or trying to kill him. Oh, here's Kindred in the mid lane. But oh, the trade back from Mighty Mead. Is LeBlanc going to die to the Ignite? He is with the last tick of it. Psych Chips is going to look for that extra damage. He's still chasing and he ends up backing off. But oh man, Mighty Mead turning a 1v2 in a matchup that's considered to be favored by LeBlanc too.
Looked like he just got a little overzealous there and didn't respect the damage coming out of Akali.
Yeah,
you
came out of the shroud.
See that they have you got to see that they have the Ignite and know that she's going to burst you out pretty well. About half HP, you got to think that's going to come out. Definitely well played by Mighty Mead there.
Yeah, disrespecting the burst coming out of the shroud with the Ignite. And that might turn the matchup like on its head, because if LeBlanc can't burst down the Akali, then Akali can just sit in that shroud and then wait for her moment and do whatever she wants, really.
Yeah, definitely a very snowbally mid lane there. Both champions have the ability to take over the game if they get even a slight lead against their opponent. Just so much kill pressure that you have to really respect the enemy until you get some jungle pressure on your own.
And surprised to see the Kindred going for the chilling smite rather than the challenging smite. And that might be just to slow down the Hecarim when he's running straight at you. But ultimately I feel like, oh, in the mid lane though, wow, that's a lot of damage. He had the last charge of his ultimate but didn't use it. But Hecarim's going to run into all the Psych Chimps, he's going to get caught out. Look at that burst damage coming out. LeBlanc flashing forward for the charge and gets the proc off on the ultimate. Kindred now gets a stack from that too. And Babs just barely
nice
dodges the Q from Mighty Mead. Rox is showing up in the mid lane too for extra support. And Leftover Lads with the rebuttal in the mid lane.
Just as we're saying that, there can be such a snowbally lane in the mid, they come back and just... I can't even believe he was able to get that kill there. I thought for sure that LeBlanc was going to die.
Oh, Psych Chip's looking for John Lee. But John Lee hits the blinding. Can he get away? One more auto attack would have done it, but he can't. But in the bot lane though, Drowsy's getting pretty caught out. Asterisk had no dash, could not get in range. Psych Chimps is going to look for a dive potentially, but he has no ultimate yet. And he might just die to the Q, doesn't actually use it on the side of Drowsy. So they get out alive, but they're pretty low.
Just gonna back off and look for that mark instead. You know, it's too risky of a play to go for a dive when you don't have the ultimate as Kindred, and you get the free mark right there. That's basically like a kill in itself if you can get to that 4 stacks as soon as possible.
This is going to be his 3rd stack at 7 minutes, so he's feeling pretty good about how this game is going.
2 kills, 3 stacks at, 7.5 minutes. That Kindred, especially with, not going for the dueling build, like you said, you got the blue smite, but that's going to put a lot more pressure on the laners because that's going to make his ganks just that much more challenging to try and get away from.
Yeah, Drowsy's going to be basically a free kill down here. Unable to really do anything, but he's just going to die with the wave. Going to miss a lot of experience from that. It's going to feel pretty bad. In the top lane, though, Nova Typhoon, he managed to steal a red buff. So that's pretty nice. He's going to hit 6 before the Kindred does, which is pretty shocking considering how much pressure Psych Chimps had.
They do get the dragon here bot as well, so they get the kill on a dragon for
mid
a red
lane.
buff.
Here's the fight. The chain comes out. The second chain, he uses his ultimate for the E, and oh, he misses the dash, but it doesn't matter. Gets the ignite and the Q off, so that's going to be another trade kill. A 3rd kill for the Kindred. In the top lane, though, Urgot, oh wow, there's a 2v1 dive happening. I didn't even pay attention to what that was. I thought that was like a 3-man tower take happening. I thought Urgot was on the Busaders for a second. But Roxas missed the ultimate pretty badly on Nova. Would have been a kill if he hit that. But he defends.
Yeah, he might have even been able to go for the double kill there if he had hit that ult. Could have got the fear off and would have been able to go in on the Jax.
Yeah, and Fognungler knows that he has no ultimate, so he can go aggressive. Just walks away at 200 HP. He's got the corruption potion ticking.
I'm interested to see if there is any possibility of this Urgot switching over to an Ignite or an Exhaust or something to try and look for that kill, or just to even switch it to pressure that Jax off the tower there and make him lose a little bit of the farm. Doesn't look like he's going to opt into switching into anything like that for too much pressure.
Oh, that burst damage from LeBlanc. Still scary, even though she's 0-2. Akali has the Hextech Revolver and the Vampire Acceptor. Oh, here comes a dive, though. Nice flash to flash away from Fognugler's counter-strike. And Kindred's just going to run down this Jax for a kill.
Looks like he's just trying to kill as much time as he can for the Hecarim to gank mid without any challenge back.
Yeah. In the mid lane, though, he does kill Bab. The camera, for some reason, just stuck on Kindred, but... yeah, Hecarim takes him out with the nice onslaught of shadows. And so, yeah, this LeBlanc's going to go down to 0-3.
Good play, I think, there by Fug. Even though he was in a situation where he definitely wasn't going to make it out, he killed as much time as he could so that there was no possible way for that Kindred to make it over to try and counter gank.
Yeah, he couldn't take the tower either in the top lane because they had to kill Jax and it took way too long. Psych Chimp's looking for blood, doesn't quite get that last proc on his E. What's Kindred E called? Mounting Dread. Okay, cool. But, yeah, this bot lane, pretty even. Besides the random Drowsy dive, there hasn't been too much going on down here. Drowsy probably would have been up a lot of CS if he didn't get dove and killed. But, still just about even, which is kind of surprising.
You know what, though? In a lane where you have a Morgana and a Varus, you almost needed that dive and to make the Varus lose that much.
Fognugler, you're getting way too aggressive, takes tower shots, but in the bottom lane too, more kills coming out. That's 3 total kills for Leftover Lads. Only 2 left over on Busaders right now. And that's
it doesn't look like they're going to get anything out of it either on the side of the Busaders. Looks like they're just kind of rolling over off that play. They weren't prepared for the 4-man dive bot, and they didn't have any pressure on the top side of the map either.
Yeah, a double kill for LeBlanc, so that's going to put her on the board. And 2 kills is going to mean a lot for this champion that was really far behind. And they're going to get first tower and maybe even a second tower too. But Hecarim's looking for blood here. Hecarim is roaming up on this
Hecarim should be
Urgot.
careful though. This Urgot's got 2 levels on him and a big minion wave.
Yeah, he does not have the ultimate though, which would make or break a kill most likely. He's going to get run down. The Jax is going to hit the counter strike, and Hecarim popped the ghost for the extra damage on his Q. Rox is going to try and run away, but nothing really. And oh, Otunix also gets caught out from the Akali. Burns the flash for no reason. And yeah, more fights happening. Psych Chimps just walked into the binding basically. Doesn't even proc the ultimate. And oh, John Lee gets Black Shield, saves his life. Oh my goodness. So,
and it seems just as we're praising the leftover lads here for being proactive, they get a little lackadaisical and just give all that pressure that they just earned back.
Yeah, no, they're getting caught. Astra's trying to duel this Jax. Counter-Strike being used so he can go in as how hard as he wants to. Burns the flash, tries to get the Q. He's going to get feared, and Jax jumps on him and says, not even close, baby, and takes him out. Astra's going ham.
Both summoners used by Astra's there. That's huge.
Astra's using both summoners, still not getting the kill. That's tragic. And Busaders find their way back in with 4 kills. And oh, Drowsy takes a tower shot, gonna die to the ignite. Babs is gonna walk away. Akali looks for it, doesn't actually get it. This game just got a whole lot of crazy.
Both teams just going back and forth. Nobody's taking a second breather. Everybody's just looking to try and get as much as they possibly can.
And why is this Kindred 2 levels down? Can you explain that?
It's because it looks like the Hecarim has just been... Every time the Kindred is making a play on the opposite side of the map, the Hecarim is taking whatever side Kindred's on, he's taking the opposite side of the jungle from the Kindred. So he's not really getting too many opportunities to farm. When they did do that 4-man dive, the Hecarim got both the Raptors and the Krugs from the top side, which just gives them such a level lead in those camps.
Yeah, you can see he has like at least 4 more camps on him.
It's gonna be up to Nova then. Looks like he's got a lot of gold there to try and, start taking this game away on his own.
Yeah, because even though he's strong, the Kindred's strong, Hecarim might be stronger, but Rox is looking for blood. Rox is actually running away, procs the ultimate, and my camera's getting all weird, but whoa, wow, that burst damage is crazy on the mounting Dread from Kindred. Obliterates Drowsy, who should not have been there at all. Babs looks for the chain, does not quite hit it. The Black Shield is going to save John Lee once again. But Psych Chimp's a little over-aggressive here. Has the ultimate, he has to use it now. He does. And the counter-strike going to come through. He's going to get stunned up in the respite. But here comes the calling. Fugnuggler. Oh, Otenex with the Bard ultimate going to give Babs a kill. Lots of stuff going on. Mighty be looking for blood. He's got 4 people in his sights. Misses the second part, but gets so much extra damage. And now Hecarim and Jax going to run him over. Asher's going to try, but he fails. Roxas is going to try to get out. He's super low. Akali can't quite gap close. That's a lot of stuff going on. I lost track of how many people actually died.
Looked like it was a 3 for 2 inside of in favor of the Busaders there. Akali picking up 2 kills on her own, and Jax picking up
Assassins
as well.
getting fed. And the marksman not being super effective from the leftover lads. I feel like Kindred not able to use that lead she got in the early game to really do anything. But oh, they're going to spot Akali out in that bush right there. Bard not going to be able to hit a stun. Actually, yes, she is, but Akali is under the shadows. 1 auto from dying. Kindred does take it out, but also Babs gets taken down. Psych Chimp's going to try to run down Drowsy. They're still going. Is he going to get it? He does get the slow and the smite, so he's going to get chased down. No subs on Drowsy. That's going to be the 7th kill of the game for Psych Chimps. And the Herald's going to get popped in the bottom lane. They're going to look for that tier 2 tower. And on the other side of the map, you're going to see the Jax with a huge wave. He's going to push out the tower. Roxas is going to go for a dive onto John Lee pretty easily. No contention at all. And they're going to get Otunix that kill. And there's still going to be a lot of damage on this inhibitor tower. And oh, before Fugnuggler teleports,
just not able to get that chain corruptions there.
Still though, Fognuggler now super low. The Culling might just take him out, but no, just one auto from Psych Chimps will. Another really good Tempest from Bard. Gonna come through on the Hecarim. Asterisk looking for blood. He's gonna take out the assassin, Akali, but he's gonna get taken out in return from Nova Typhoon. And a lot of stuff going on.
3 for 2 there. Favorite leftover last. Plus they get the tower. And they ended up saving that top tower too by sending LeBlanc back.
Yeah, so only one total tower taken down from that entire ordeal.
Almost makes you wonder, with the Jax TP coming in, he started channeling that before the LeBlanc showed up. If the LeBlanc had stayed in the bot lane, they could have gotten that inhib, I think. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, it's possible.
There was a lot of low health champions there with the Hecarim, the Akali staying. Akali just dropping, but the Hecarim was pretty low, chasing down the Lucian there. The LeBlanc burst could have taken him out and had 4 people down there to take that inhib.
And let's take a moment to check on these items right now, because the Tryndamere, Hecarim has got the Trinity Force. And nope, no time to talk, because here comes Fognuggler getting cut out by O2nex and Asterisk, but a lot of damage coming through from Asterisk, but O2nex is super low. Fognuggler trying to get a 2v1 kill, but O2nex flashes away at the last second.
Does get the flash from Bard, so
But, here comes Nova,
loss.
And he says, "No, I'm good." But oh, Psych Chimps looking for it, doesn't quite get it. And Roxas in the bot lane. Is he gonna just brute force down the inhibitor turret? I don't think so. Akali looking for a kill. Roxas is really tanky though. I don't know if he can actually kill him. Roxas is just like walking up and doing whatever he wants. This Akali just can't do enough burst damage. And Nova Typhoon and John Lee on the map, you can see, are trying to assist their mid laner Akali. But more stuff happening in the mid lane though. Drowsy gonna get dove, but the respite has to be used, and instead it's a trade kill. Nicely done from Drowsy to pick that up, and in the end, Nova Typhoon will come down and he will collapse onto Roxas and take him down. And they probably can't take this mid lane tower because Fognuggler showed up. But oh, the binding hit on the LeBlanc, and he's gonna get taken out by the turret with Fognuggler's help. And Ash just 1 auto away from can't get it. And here comes the onslaught of shadows. Akali is looking for Asterisk. Asterisk can't really do much. He has flash though. Is he gonna try to outplay? No, the Gunblade comes out. And in the end, it's going to be an ace for the Busaders. Whoa.
Big misplay coming off of Psych there underneath the tower. Just missed the time that ultimate a little bit. Ended up costing a lot. If you would have got that kill and still had the ultimate or been able to save it, they could have looked for take that tower.
Yeah, because if he properly ults and kills him right before he ults, then Varus can't follow up with that Q at the very end, because that's going to kill him every time if he's that low. The W from Varus will do 15% of his missing HP. And Kindred taken a little too low and gets taken out by Varus in the trade. And ultimately, leftover lads just go way too hard in many different occasions, and at 20 minutes, we're looking at a 37 kill game. Quite the fest.
Constant pressure from both sides here. Every time one person, gets a little bit of a lead, the enemy team just seems to get something on the other side of the map.
And I feel like this game is slowly turning into the Busaders' favor, not only just because of the ace, but you take a look at the levels. Nova Typhoon still 2 levels up on the Psych Chimps. And Mighty Mead, who's a level up on Babs, goes in and takes out Asterisk. After he gets taken out though, Nova Typhoon is going to find the dive on the Babs. He chunks him out super hard with the Onslaught of Shadows, gets that kill. He's godlike on the Hecarim. O2nex now running away. He uses the portal that way, but then walks back the other way and donates Drowsy a kill. Interesting play. And that's a 3-for-1 overall for Busaders. Once again, another fight won for them. Baron's on the table. They're not going to go for it though, it looks like. But with the Varus and the Bork, it's definitely possible for them to do it. But they're gonna. Oh, Psych Chimps though. He has no ultimate. He's gonna get taken out. Tries to flash, but he gets hit by the charge anyways. Oh my goodness, this is that's a tilter right there. If I were Psych Chimps. But anyways, in the mid lane.
A little confusing as to what he was doing.
Yeah, and now Roxas pulls him in and gets the fear beyond death. And Nova Typhoon's going to get shut down too for 900 gold. Lucian getting 900 gold. That's going to give him gold to finish that cleaver up. And this is going bonkers. This is like just as crazy as the series on Wednesday from the Baby Sharks and GT Not Cannon. So many slugfests going on.
Here.
Yeah, and a tower trade will happen. I think
both teams just I'm not sure if it's making a lot of smart plays or if teams are just getting a little bit too wanting to get a little bit too much out of what the trades that they get, that they're overextending a little bit too far and just kind of conceding the leads that they just got off that. If they would have just backed off or, like you said, gone towards the Baron, they could have gotten a lot off that, but maybe Psych is playing 200 IQ trying to bait him in for the Roxas to come over and clean up.
And yeah, Hecarim now 2 levels up, level 14. He is the highest level in the game by a full level. Almost 2 levels basically if you're on leftover lads. So this horse is going to be super scary. He's going to buy some armor, looking like a Randuin's. So that's going to really hurt Kindred and Lucian towards the late game. And oh, look at that 3-man Tempest from Bard, and this is going to be an engage from leftover lads. Here comes the Urgot with the Fear Beyond Death. He's going to one-shot 2 players. Akali's going to look for a kill. He gets taken down too. That's 4 people down. That's going to be Baron.
Excellent play coming out of Otunix there. Not only does he get the 3-man ultimate, but he's able to get you on top of the Morgana so that she's not able to black shield anybody before that fight, and they just take everybody out without any issues.
Immediately stunning up 2 members after that 3-man Bard ultimate. And that was a huge play. That was a game-winning play right there from Otunix. And the follow-up from the rest of the team also very nice. Psychship still has the ultimate. He can bait Hecarim in here and basically turn the smite into not a 50-50. It's basically 100% in his favor if you can bait out Hecarim going in. But he's going to use the Onslaught of Shadows away, and that's going to secure the Baron for them.
Yeah, well played by the side of leftover lads to stop doing damage on the Baron and make sure they get that Hecarim out of there, because you don't want to go for a 50-50. If you give any sort of life to this Crusaders side, they've shown time and time that they will jump back into this game in a second's notice.
Yeah, if that Baron buff is like 1.8 thousand or 1.5 thousand, Hecarim use the Onslaught of Shadows, and with that charge, can do massive burst damage. So good on them to make sure he has to get out of the Baron pit before they finish it off. And just as I say, the game is in the Busaders' favor, leftover lads with a huge fight, and both teams just staying too far at objectives and getting caught out. It's really been the reason why there's so many darn kills.
Yeah, it's going to take a big play here from the Busaders to try and get back into this. Now it's up to a 4.5k gold lead. 25 minutes into the game here, and so much tempo should be in the favor of leftover lads to just kind of go into the enemy jungle and just take whatever they want. They're going to have to try and set something up here to pick somebody off. Maybe Bard when he's going to ward, or do something, because if they just sit back, they're going to lose at least 1 inhib.
Yeah, no, Bugnuggler is going to flash on the Psych Chimps here, but Psych Chimps can now kite him out. He's got the W down, but the Mounting Dread, he's going to be able to take him out with the Wolf actually auto attack. So Bugnuggler expecting to do a lot more damage. He's used to going like Rage Blade, but not going to get that damage off. But oh no, but if we're getting bursted down so hard, but Babs, overly aggressive, Mighty Meat catches him out and bursts him right back for a trade, or not even a trade, just 1 kill, because Nova Typhoon didn't die.
Yeah, just again where they have a good position to try and take a lot. They they got the kill on Bugnuggler, and
oh, Chain of Corruption comes out. And oh, Otunix with the ultimate onto the tower and Drowsy, but Rox is super low. Onslaught of Shadows hits 4 members. A double kill for Ashes before he gets taken down, and Drowsy gonna get taken down by the Kindred auto attacks. He's got many stacks now, so he does so much long range damage. And only member alive from Busaders is Mighty Mead. Jax just respawned, so now it's a 2-on-2 on the map. Psych Chimp's still looking for it, but oh man, this guy is so strong now on the Kindred. And oh, oh, Fugnuggler looking for that kill, but Psychshims gets that flash away. And now Jax has no way to get actually in on the fight and kills him right
Oh,
before he pounces on him. And oh, the mounting dread just barely finishing him off, saving his life. And now finishing off the Infinity Edge is the Kindred. This guy is massive now. He's now equal level to Nova Typhoon. He was down 2 levels quite a while ago. And Kali only has 2 items plus a Hexdrinker. Does have the stopwatch though to get out of sticky situations.
you can really tell too, not only by the scoreboard, but just by the farm on both sides, aside from the junglers, how much fighting has been going on this game, because the
Yeah.
numbers just aren't there this game. Nobody is even close to the that 10 CS, but everybody making so many strong plays, and you can just see how much these teams want to fight, or how hard they're trying to
And here comes Jack,
yeah,
and here comes Hecarim too. But the Onslaught of Shadows comes through. Psychshims is super low. Oh, he pulls Hecarim, but the Requiem saves his life. And that's going to be a nice Bard ultimate again. And here comes Babs, getting huge burst damage out. But 3 members of Leftover Lads are already dead. They have to retreat now. And 3 for 0 for Leftover Lads. Really nice engage from the Nova Typhoon. That's what you can do on Hecarim, but Babs looking for blood. Oh, not quite low enough, and the stopwatch is procced while he's ignited. And Drowsy flashes in, but O2nex can't get the kills. And another ace, but now for the Busaders.
Just goes to show you that, one small mistake and either team can just completely take over a team fight.
The Urgot ulting the Hecarim? So Hecarim was actually outside of the Requiem, but Urgot ultimate pulled him back in and it saved his life.
How many times have you ever seen that interaction?
I've never seen that in my entire life. The Urgot that was standing in the Requiem, trying to kill him, but he pulled him into his own Requiem, and so he didn't die.
Makes you wonder if perhaps looking forward into the next games, if you want to play a comp that has an execute with the Kindred there.
I know the Requiem's popped again, and Fugnuggler getting bursted down, and he uses the Fear Beyond Death after the Requiem. Smart of him. He very quickly learned the interactions between the 2 ultimates.
Yeah, I can't see him making that mistake again. Just a little bit off in timing the first time there, but this time he gets it right. They get the kill on the Jax, and now they're able to run down the top lane here with LeBlanc pushing up the wave bot.
Yep, and the Baron buff is up in 1 minute. Something to take a note of. Both teams have more kills than the current minute in the game. We're at 63 kills. And up here comes Nova Typhoon. He's going to go in. No Requiem for Kindred, and that's the very important fact, because Mighty Meteors easily jumps on top of him. And Astra's going to get jumped on, but oh, the kiting coming out from Astras. Meanwhile, Rox is in the backline doing a lot of work, zoning off the team, but 3 members of Leftover Lads are down. But on the other side for the Busaders, there's only 2 members down, so 3 for 2 right now. Babs are going to look for more kills. Not in that bush. Tried to fish for the kill, but didn't quite get it.
Looks like they're just sending the Jax bot side.
Do I keep saying Requiem instead of Respite? Oh, tragic. Tragic. I knew that. I knew it was called the Respite. I don't know why I was saying Requiem, but Karthus is not in the game. You're right.
With so many kills, you might think he is, just from the Requiem coming down, killing everyone. So
it was the wrong R word. I know I'm not talking about Roxas.
And the Busaders here a little bit nervous, trying to walk up and get some vision on that Baron with the LeBlanc there. She could easily burst out anybody on this side of them, as long as it's not the Hecarim there. Nobody really has any MRV besides her and the Akali, so just as I say that, Drowsy's starting to pick some up.
Yeah, and smart for Ashes to buy the QSS to be able to actually react to what Hecarim does to him. Now he has 3 items, going for that. He's either going to finish off that Mercurial or use that pickaxe to buy an Infinity Edge. And oh, nice chain, or nice binding from Babs. And oh, Akali's going to go in, and he's going to finish off LeBlanc with the follow through. But oh, Akali makes the respite get popped, not the Requiem, but oh, that Tempered Fate takes out Psych Chimps. Super nicely done, but Onslaught of Shadows, he's going to flee. And oh, double stun, sick play from this Bard, but he's still going to get chased down. Nothing's going to save him. Randuin's Omen gets procced, and that's 3 members down from Leftover Lads, and Busaders looking for that Baron. What is this game?
Both teams just seem to be one pick after another. The trading team fights back and forth. I would like to see Babs here though try and pick up a stopwatch, because there's been a couple instances where he goes in and gets a huge burst on the 1 or maybe even 2 members, but gets hit by some CC and just gets bursted out. If he were to pick up that stopwatch, I think he'd have be able to wait for his cooldowns and look for another burst.
Yeah, and Zonia's would be a pretty good purchase for him, as they have 3 AD threats on the team. But actually, Drowsy has picked up Wit's End, so he's going for some more on-hit, a little bit more magic damage. I'm surprised to see that. I would have probably just gone Hex Drinker if I really wanted some magic resist, just because you're not going to be auto-attacking that LeBlanc a lot to steal that magic resist away. But you can get it off of anybody, but the Wit's End doesn't add that much extra damage. If you've got that crit build, you might as well just go for Hex Drinker and then IE, just because Wit's End it costs a lot of gold for that that extra MR you get, but no shield, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you have the burst from the LeBlanc, you'd think you want to get that extra shield instead of just the raw MR. But maybe he wants to be able to have just that little bit of extra force in the next team fight and look for the end of the game if he can try and avoid the LeBlanc.
Yeah, and oh, the Fear Beyond Death procs on the Drowsy. Drowsy not hit by the Tempered Fate because of this black shield, but more stuff going on. The Respite lands, and everyone's inside of it for Leftover Lads. But no Typhoon doesn't take any damage at all, and oh, they're just going to get run over by the Hecarim. Roxas is going to get a lot of damage off though, and he's dodging every skill shot. He's trying his hardest to survive. And oh, he's going to flip over Jax, but he's going to get stunned down too. And he went for the big play, but it cost him his life in the end there. And Jax walks up and gets his GA procced, but Bab's looking for it. He's going to get it, and he has to get away quickly, or else Bears with the Q misses barely. And the Baron on the Busaders and the minion wave allow them to actually keep pushing even though they have 2 members dead. Leftover has 3 dead, and so they can still push their advantage. This Hecarim just can't die.
Even though it was a 3-for-2, still able to keep that pressure on the tower and take out the in-hit with the Baron buff. And the block only able to pick off 1 member there. Not able to go in with the Hecarim still just waiting on the side, just able to probably one-shot her if she steps too far out of line.
There's just not enough damage, it seems, to actually deal with this Hecarim. He can provide so much CC, so much disruption of the backline. And the Respite basically has to get used every time Hecarim goes in.
Yeah, Kindred really had that lead early on in the game. Maybe not the level lead, but he seemed to have the pressure tempo advantage.
Oh, they're looking for a sneak on this dragon, and they have vision of it. The Busaders are known about it. The Chain of Corruption hits, but nothing really happened. They're just gonna give this up. What? Oh my god! John Lee steals the Elder with the binding. What is this game? Glory, help me.
Psych still sitting there with that smite up.
He had smite!
Coordination. I'll have to look back later on and see if perhaps they just bursted it down from, higher than a smiter, if he just didn't respect, the poke possibility.
And Hecarim, he's going in. He got the Onslaught of Shadows, and Psych Chimps gets immediately deleted due to that extra true damage, and they're just gonna go super ham. They don't have any fear at all. They're gonna go dive. They're gonna kill Roxas. Bugnuggler's gonna kill himself, but he's not very useful right now anyways. Let's be real. It's all about Hecarim in this game.
Yeah, the Hecarim and Akali is just completely taking over the game after that team fight around the Baron pit. there's just no answer right now from the side of leftover lads.
Mighty Mean gonna use the Shroud to be obscured, that's the word. And gonna zone away Astrus while they take that inhibitor, the second inhibitor of the game. And John
Not looking
Lee,
to end.
John
Yeah,
Lee's
John Lee.
Morgana.
Oh man.
It looks like it had some bad moments, but totally
You know
redeemed
what?
himself.
The Morgana was John Lee there, looked over at the Bard and Otunex and said, anything you can do, I can do better. You know, this Bard has been just hitting these unreal ults and hitting, the best targets possible with his Q. But this Morgana just hitting the big play when it counts.
So is John Lee gonna whip out the Bard next game? Show
Maybe
him
we'll
who's
see them,
boss?
swap over and just see who really is the bigger dick player.
Yeah, flex hard on him. But Drowsy now has the Infinity Edge completed. I think he just bought that straight up. That Infinity Edge. That's a lot of gold
Yeah,
he just spent.
I don't think he had any of the pieces before that fight there. So
Yeah, and Astra's just sitting on the same thing he's had for like the past 10 minutes. So I'm pretty sure he's just waiting for that Infinity Edge. He's just finished that. Okay, he just finished
yeah,
that Infinity Edge. And so that's a good spike for him. They might be able to now kill the Lucian, but Hecarim with the Randuin's Omen is going to take a lot of
oh,
damage. But Otunek's going to get taken out. Oh, Nova Typhoon with the onslaught misses Babs. There's a lot
nice
of stuff
dodge there by
happening.
Babs to get out of that Hecarim out.
Yeah, juked him out pretty hard right there. Nova Typhoon, half HP. No Ocean Dragon, so they don't have any extra sustain. But they have a lot of damage from this inhibitor tower, the third one for them.
And they do have the Jax pressuring with the Super Wave bot, so
Yeah, and Kindred getting bursted down immediately by Fug, but Roxas on the backline has the Stone Plate. He's going to absorb so much damage, but not anything that the rest of the leftover lads can do. And Astra's just trying, but getting outranged by Varus is kind of hard. Can't get that damage out. Jax dies again, just going into mode right now is Smuggler. But he doesn't care. He's just a meat shield for his team, and they're going to take the first game of the series.
yeah, Fugnuggler just going full out split push mode, playing like a Tryndamere. Doesn't care if he picks up any deaths as long as his team is picking up objectives on the other side of the map. And he, even without the great score line, I think he did exactly what his team needed him to do.
Does he have negative fantasy points
Uh,
on this
I'm
Jax going 4, 12, and 12?
I personally I don't follow the fantasy too much, so I wouldn't know if maybe somebody in the chat knows how that works.
All right,
But
Canada, where you at? Let us know how many points Fugnugler got that game. If you're still in the chat, my sir. The leftover lads can do. And hey man, if you
extremely
die
hard to
12
have.
times, you can get negative fantasy points. Just trying, but because
A lot
it's
of
like
opportunities though that game for the leftover last to completely take it over. I think just a couple miscommunications with the alts really altered
getting
that one
outranged
because
by
it looked
Varus
like
is
they
kind
did
of.
have the tempo advantage. They got that first Baron, and they looked like they were just going to end the game off of it with getting a pick Jax, but Busaders coming back strong and showing some resilience. Not even seeming worried. Even in the face of the Elder Drake about to go down. Full confidence in John Lee and his ability.
And yeah, that happened. So Morgana Binding stole an Elder Dragon from a kindred that had Smite. So interesting. They also could have potentially had Urgot to take that spellbook Smite, but they didn't do that. So missed out on some chances to get that Smite down and secure themselves potentially a win after taking that dragon. Astra's pulling out the triple double, the 10-10-14. Blake Griffin. Psych Chip's not quite able to get that 10th death. Only at 9. No triple double for him.
Everybody in the game here looking like they're just trying to, get as many fantasy points, I guess, as they can before the end of the game.
I think this
Nova,
game.
again, just having an unreal performance.
Yeah, I think without this Hecarim being that strong, really, that would have been very, very hard for the Busaders to deal with.
Yeah, there wasn't really too much of an answer when that Hecarim was going in. He's just too tanky to be able to deal with him, along with the Akali going through the shroud to burst him down. You'd have to just kind of find him on his own, or else he's just gonna keep running rampant around looking for that Lucian and LeBlanc, take him out of the fights.
Let's find this game 2 tournament code and get in there. And it looks like, actually, I don't know what side the Busaders selected. But I'm just gonna wait here and see what happens. I don't know if there are any adaptations that should happen in the draft. Maybe you just want to ban the Hecarim, since it seemed like there's really no way to stop it. Kindred got 4 kills, but Hecarim was still 2 levels up, which you should be able to pressure that a lot harder if you're a Kindred than you're that fed.
Oh,
So
absolutely,
you,
and no, hats off to Nova there for putting me in my place, I guess, of before the game, saying you don't want to get into a farm war between Kindred and Hecarim, because the Hecarim just power farmed, had faith in his laners that they were going to be able to, you know, even if they lost a little bit, the big gain that he got and the level lead and the XP, like the XP and gold advantage from just the farming, he was able to take over the game post 15 minutes.
yeah, and as we wait for game 2 to start and wait for the teams to get back to the lobbies, I'm gonna pause the cast for a few minutes. I'm gonna get some water, take some breaths, because that was a wild game, and so
Let's hope we get another one just as fun.
oh yeah, for the sake of my throat. But yep, see you guys in a few minutes. Thanks for watching. That was crazy. I'm back. I don't know if you're back, Glory, but we are
Yeah,
ready.
I'm here.
Okay, we are ready for game two between this epic matchup and both teams trying to pick up their first win of the season. And Busaders have punched in one W, looking for their second W. And D5 Police coming in now. Drowsy did his job, got legendary or godlike at the end of that game in the bot lane. But now D5 Police coming in, and he's gonna play mid lane. Mighty Me's gonna come in the top lane, and Fognuggler back in his main role, at least on their team roster, their main role in the AD carry position.
Yeah, Drowsy did what he needed to do. He got a couple of good ults in there. The game was really taken over by Nova and uh, mid lane there, the Akali. But he didn't lose any pressure in the bot lane. They were able to keep their tower up pretty long while they were waiting for the Hecarim to scale up, and now hopefully Fug can play a little bit stronger team fight oriented as he did top lane with the split push. Nova was 12-4, something like that.
Yeah, he popped the heck off in that game, and this is the player that we expected to see. I think most people think he expect him to be a pretty hard carry. And game two champion select is underway. I just got called. Give me 1 minute. Talk for a little bit.
All
Say
right, let's
your
see
life
who
story.
my life story. Yeah. So let's see what Leftover Labs are trying to do. I don't think there was too much of an issue with their draft. I think it was just a little bit on the execution side. It's a couple of small mistakes that ended up costing them big. I think if they were to have something similar again and play a similar style, fine tuning a couple of those things, I think they could have taken that game over, finished it in about 30 minutes. So see if they want to change things up now that they're on the blue side here, or if they want to uh, go with something similar, maybe take away that Hecarim, or if they're just going to try and leave Nova to pick whatever he wants, because it's clear that no matter what you take away from him, he will find another new champion to pop off with. Graves and Cinder taking off on the red side so far, and they do end up taking that Hecarim off, along with the Swain on the Irelia. Weird to think for the D5 Police Irelia and to be flexed in the bottom or the mid lane. And Kaisa is the third ban here for Astrus. Want to put him on something a little less comfortable. Morgana first picked. Pretty standard, I believe, as far as Prophecy Cup goes. I'm pretty sure almost every single team in this league picks Morgana in the first pick if it's not banned.
Yeah, it just beats everything. Like, what are you playing to that?
I know a lot of teams have some of their lower point players in the support role, and you put them on a champion like Morgana, where they are able to make big plays, but even if they can't make the game changing plays, they are still able to be useful with that Black Shield, and you can kind of just amp up your big carry player. So see if it can do a little bit better in the hands of Otunex.
It's just so much reward for such low risk, and they're gonna go with an
Exactly.
aggressive bot laner like Nami, so that's pretty nice. So Nami will have the sustain advantage. It'll have a lot of extra damage. Now I do think Nami's pretty good champion. And they're giving that Yasuo first rotation, so that's very interesting. I know Mighty Mead likes to play Yasuo a lot. I don't know much about D5 Police, but it certainly could be flexible. And they're taking the GP away and they're giving that to Roxas. Roxas's most played champion is GP, and he hasn't gotten to play it yet because it's been banned in every game against them. So first time it's left open, and it's gonna get the first pick of the season for Roxas.
It'd be interesting to see if they do end up putting that Yasuo in the top lane, because giving that Yasuo a little bit of leeway to scale up into his one or two items, playing against a GP who won't be able to necessarily dominate him in lane, but should do okay and be safe from not getting killed. They'll both be happy to scale up there. cool to see how the GP pick is used if they try and play through other lanes or if they want to really shut down the Yasuo.
Yeah, and the Zac pick coming from Nova Typhoon, Hecarim being banned, so going to pick that Zac up. I like the timing on that pick. You pick it third before they can put more bans into your jungle pool, and you can also see what the leftover lads go with their first three picks. So he could basically deviate between any of his small pool of champions and get like the most effective one. And then I guess he decided that Zac was it. Just good synergy with the Yasuo too.
Definitely, and seeing the LeBlanc ban there might make you think that the Yasuo might actually go towards the mid lane because I know it's a pretty toxic matchup in Yasuo side because LeBlanc can just burst him out from such far range,
And you
just
just jump
come
over
in.
the wall too.
Exactly, and even with the mobility of Yasuo, just the point and click, you can WQR on the Yasuo and just take out half of his health in one combo. I do hope though on the side of the Crusaders that if with the Nami pick, I know last time they picked the Nami, they had the brand go with it. I
Oriana
hope they
coming
pick
out.
something a little bit more 80 carry style or something a little bit more auto attack based, so that the Nami pick gets a little bit more use.
Yeah, because they have played the like a Brand's Nami bot before, and it was okay, but didn't really do that much. And
They did well in the laning phase, but I believe that when you have the Nami, they could have used a little bit more pressure with an ADC and a little bit more sustained damage later on.
what is Babs gonna pick here to round out this composition? D5 Police or the Oriana is gonna be a pretty safe mid laner. So what do they want to pick into that? There's a bunch of different champions that you can pick. No, what do they want here? They've got a lot of damage, and they're gonna go with the Rise or an Echo. So Echo is actually Babs' most played champion. It will be something that they can split push with, potentially get a 1-3-1 going, but I think Yasuo eventually just beats up both of them.
Yeah, the Yasuo in the 1v1 just so much damage outputted when he gets that 3 and 4 items. Even the 2 item spike, he's 100% crit and so much mobility that you have to really play
Oh,
it well.
and there's
And
the
they are
brand.
going with it again.
But Mighty Means Yasuo is pretty nuts, so he has quite a lot of carry potential on this champion. And such a good composition. They have no marksman, but it's such a good team fighting composition that they have. Lots of setup for Yasuo, lots of AoE damage, a lot of AoE like crowd control, and they can do a lot of things. They have a good wombo.
Yeah, it definitely looks like they're two different clashes of style. With the leftover lads looking like they, like you said, want to go for a little bit more of a 1-3-1 type composition, where the Crusaders look like they just want to get through laning phase as fast as possible and brute force 5v5 you down at any of the lanes and look for team fights around objectives.
Is this Echo really gonna go barrier? I feel like you just want to take ignite, but I don't know. 802 next with the follow. Thanks, bro. Nice bard play last game. It was clean.
Definitely, yeah, definitely interesting take on the Echo here. Looking to try and survive the laning phase, but that's going to really take away from his split push potential later on in the game. Without having a TP or ignite, he's really going to. He doesn't look like he wants to split push. He wants a team fight, but they're just. I can't see the side of leftover lads winning team fights unless they're find a pick beforehand. Their team is just one focus aside from that GP. Whereas the side of the Crusaders, they just hit everything at once.
Yeah, and this Kindred has to actually. The Kindred should definitely get a lead in the early game, but he's going to have to be able to actually transfer that into some success because last game he got that advantage, but it didn't really amount to much. Hecarim still got a 2 level lead and was really able to just take over the game after like 15 minutes. So Psych Chimps now an even easier matchup into the Zac. He's gonna have to show that he can play aggressive and transition leads and snowball the game.
Yeah, and Nova's already shown that he's willing to pick the Zac into high aggressive junglers and still be able to be effective even in the early game. He seems to like to power farm, those first couple levels, get a couple points in that slingshot, and then really start to make an impact on the lanes once he gets to level 5 and level 6. So you're going to need a lot of high tempo plays out of the Kindred and a lot of invading and coordination on the side of leftover lads if they want to really shut this Zac down.
Yeah, otherwise this Zac is not gonna die. This Zac is just gonna kidnap Varus, and Asher's just gonna end up having a rough time if this Zac gets too far ahead. And oh, Triple
One thing to
H,
note too. Oh, go ahead.
Triple H with the big bits. 500. A, let's go. I agree. A, let's go. Let's go. XXX. DX Mun. HHH DX Mun. Sorry.
One thing to note here before the start of this game, though, it looks like the Busaders should have the lane advantage in the early couple levels in almost all 3 lanes here. So that's going to put a lot of extra pressure here on the Kindred to really be careful about which side of the map he invades on, because if any of these lanes collapse and get that Kindred behind and give that Zac the space he needs to get a lead, the game could just snowball out of control on the side of Crusaders. Definitely going to be looking for a lot of proactivity from the solo laners and the bot lane there to try and help this Kindred suffocate the Zac.
One thing that you could do is go for a player playing around top lane as the leftover lads and shut down Yasuo, because then after that the entirety of the damage is magic damage except for Yasuo. So if they're able to actually shut down Yasuo, it'll make their itemization choice very, very simple.
Absolutely, and shutting the Yasuo down just takes away so much of their composition. They've built a lot of the picks, with the Nami, the bubble, and the ult, Orianna ult, the Zac ult, and the Zac jump. So many different knockup opportunities for the Yasuo that shutting him down will definitely take away a lot of their team fight potential if they're trying to funnel in the gold into that player.
And this comp just screams, Yasuo hard carry me, because yeah, if the Kindred and GP are definitely champions that can punish the Yasuo. Kindred can probably just take red buff and then just run up top lane. Yasuo can no longer lane. He'll have to recall and teleport. If he doesn't have wind wall, Kindred's going to do a lot of damage to him.
Absolutely. Definitely hope on the side of Crusaders here that you have a, team focus Yasuo when you don't get that solo queue 1v9 trust in me Yasuo on
The
your side.
Yasuo that just bought the new skin and wants to try him out.
Exactly.
But I've seen firsthand that Mighty Mage Yasuo quite clean. It's quite clean. So you want to shut that down. But D5 Police spotting out Psych Chimps. Psych Chimps looking for some early pressure possibly. He has this passive mark on the Zac. So maybe a sign of things to come. Maybe he'll look for some invades.
Did look like they wanted to try and maybe get an invade, but Orianna spotted them out and they just immediately backed off. Didn't even try and get in there and get any deep vision or anything. Which could cost them, because it looks like the Zac wants to start on the top side. No leash.
No leash at all for Zac, so.
Yeah, so blind start on the side of the leftover lads. They're not going to know exactly where the Zac is pathing to.
Bab's just using his Q to poke out Orianna, but not hitting the wave at all. So basically he's just saying, alright, Ori, you can push the wave all you want. I'm just going to sit here and chill. And I'm not going to actually push the wave in until I get like level 5 or something and have more points on my Q. So giving over all of the pressure to Orianna.
Yeah, hopefully Psyche is able to, have good communication here with Babs to know when the Orianna is going to be roaming over, because giving up that early pressure in the mid lane is can be so hurtful towards that Kindred
Yeah,
with getting the marks.
it affects the jungle pressure too by a lot. But oh, here comes Kindred with level 2 gank. He has the red buff too. Orianna will have flash up, but I don't know if she'll even use it. She's so low. And yeah, not even gonna bother. First blood going to Kindred. And actually something to note, yeah, Orianna has Grasp of the Undying. That's something I have not seen that before, but something
I
to
would
think
assume that
about.
that's got to be a misclick. Maybe the wrong runes going into the champs or coming out of champs next year, because I can't see Grasp being the optimal choice here for Orianna.
Yeah, I'm sure you just want to go airy, but maybe in this matchup you can like get a lot of auto attacks off and a lot of extra health eventually. But like you don't care that much. But oh, Psych Chimps using that early game lead. Oh, the Q actually hit the. Oh no, oh no. He smited it, but it reset. That's tragic, and it's gonna give enough time for the bot lane to actually come up and defend this. Psych Chimps is gonna keep looking, but in the end he's gonna walk away. Um, or is he? He's gonna stay. John Lee is trying to help him out, but O2 next also comes, but there's no mid pressure, so they have to walk away. And that's unfortunate because that would have been a blue buff if he didn't time that too late. He would have been able to take that buff.
Definitely had a good opportunity with Psych to try and go for that proactive play, and it almost worked. Just an unfortunate that the blue buff lost its temper there and kind of just reset. And I am getting somebody's telling me that Grasp on Ori was meta about 2 months ago in Korea. It's fallen off a little bit, but I guess it's not a mistake. I'm guessing it means that he more than likely tried or meant to go with the Grasp. So, especially in a melee matchup, I can understand why it would be good. You know, get that extra health for later on in the game. That'll stop the assassin from just bursting you out.
Yeah, let's see if he get a proc. If he gets a proc in this trade here. Yeah, there he goes. He got a proc, so it's 5 HP. Some more sustain in the lane too. And oh, trade's happening top. Nothing too much though. They're just getting whittled down slowly. GP has no more corruption potion stacks, and Yasuo has the shield. So, oh, binding hit in the following on John Lee. Oh, Roxas almost hit that barrel. But oh, Mighty Me's gotta be careful. He's gonna get taken down by the Q. An easy kill for him.
Mighty Mead not respecting the sustain that you get out of that corrupting potion. Just gets a little bit too far up and just gets blasted in the face, giving over a little bit of pressure.
I'm sure he took a lot of minion
flash
aggro
up
too. Yeah, I think at that point he was dead no matter what. He would have to, of course, flash after him, but yeah, interesting play. Yasumas, you could sometimes just like forget where you are, like forget how many E stacks you have, are able to use.
Both TPs using top lane as well to get back into that lane.
Nova Typhoon looking mid lane. The GP ultimate comes down, but Babs is stuck behind the enemy lines. But here comes Psych Chimps. Psych Chimps just face checking, forced to flash away. That was a very awkward play. But Psych Chimps gonna go back in. GP is almost here. I don't know if Psych Chimps lagged or not, but that was weird.
Not sure, but he comes in, learns the flash, and although they didn't get a kill, they ended up getting a flash off the champion they weren't expecting to get a flash off of in that mid lane. Babs playing is smart, keeping both of his summoner spells, so he's going to be able to still be safe in that mid lane against that Zac gank. And still able to keep a little bit of a CS lead, which is pretty interesting in that matchup.
Oh, Tunix hitting a lot of bindings in this lane, and John Lee's gonna find himself low on mana. Interesting
Still
lane.
able to, the brand's still keeping up in the CS though, and it's
all
good
in
for him.
All in from Yasuo using the last breath. Gonna get a good chunk out into Roxas, but Roxas is gonna be able to orange up. He's got some potions too, so he's just gonna sit. He's gonna chill out while the wave slowly pushes into his tower, and he's totally fine. He'll be okay.
Yeah, just gonna roam around, get that fruit there, sustain back up, and wait for the big wave to crash into him. It's pushing pretty hard, so he probably won't miss too much out of this.
Oh, he's gonna dive in, get the shield, but he's not gonna get that final the stun off. But oh, the ult misses, and D5 Police gonna get taken down by Psych Chimps with a nice hop and a nice dodge from Babs. So the shockwave not hitting anybody. D5 Police still using still holding onto the flash, so questionable, I guess, by not using the flash, because he probably could have lived.
Maybe just didn't realize that that Psych didn't have his flash up. Maybe he thought that he was just dead. But that's definitely going to cost him, and now even the Echo is getting a CS lead, and he has a level lead, so that lane can get pretty toxic if you fall too far behind against an Echo.
Yeah, Echo is a champion. If you get ahead, it turns into a point where you literally just run the enemy team down, that you either kill them or you press R and ult away. That's literally just what happens. It's not super fun to play against if you're a marksman, especially. Another top lane trade happening.
On the Brand and the Yasuo as well, so.
Yasuo using the last breath, gonna get a lot of damage out. He's gonna get that kill. He has the Q. He hits the tornado. He's gonna go for it, and he does. He gets. Oh no!
Oh, wow.
The Q not coming up for Yasuo, and that's just tragic for Mighty Mead. He found the kill, but in the end, not gonna get it. But Bab's gonna get ganked by the Zac. Gets kidnapped, but Echo has the ultimate. He's gonna proc it. Shockwave not up yet for Orianna. He's gonna walk away. But Babs, could he look to go back in? He pops the barrier. One auto attack would kill Orianna. One more proc on the passive. Doesn't quite get it. And the Ignite takes out Echo. Psych Chimps gonna run him down. No flash. Hits the slow and the mounting dread. But Elastic Slingshot brings Nova to safety.
Nice try there by Roxas with the ultimate to, go for that kill there. But I think that a little bit of interesting summoner choice on the Ori as well. The Ignite ends up leading her to get a kill. I wouldn't have expected that. Normally I would picture having an Ori with the barrier, the heal, especially in a lane against an Echo.
Yeah, that's interesting to take Ignite, but he does have the grasp, so maybe he thinks that extra sustain allows him to get more aggressive rune. A summoner spell, I have no idea.
Maybe he's thinking for later on in the 1v1 matchup when he might have to match the Echo on a side lane, that, having that kill pressure so that the Echo can't just dive, or the Echo can't, overly pressure the Orianna, that's what he's going to need it for. And it ended up working out in his favor right now. We'll see how it works later on when the Echo starts ramping up with some items.
Yeah. I want to see the Leftover Lads bot lane go aggressive here. I want to see the Chain of Corruption coming out. Oh, but here comes the Shockwave, though, onto Echo. Echo does not have the ultimate just yet. Actually, he does. Finding the right moment. One more auto attack? No, he doesn't actually use it. It wasn't up.
I think it was just coming up. No, it just came up 2 seconds after.
Yeah, what I was saying about the bottom lane. I want to see this Varus Morgana lane get aggressive. I want to see Chain of Corruptions coming out, followed up by Bindings, because if you can one-shot people with this Varus lane. And Morgana does a lot of damage, so
absolutely, and
they're able to kill.
With the Varus Salt and the Morgana Q, I wouldn't mind seeing the Kindred at least make some sort of appearance down here, even just to blow flashes, so that the Morgana and Varus, can have even more pressure on them.
Yeah, and you can Black Shield any sort of crowd control that the Busaders bot lane has.
Exactly. From the first series that the Busaders have played, their bot lane is proven that they're willing to just play that safe farm game. They don't want to look for too many aggressive trades. They're willing to just scale up and wait for Nova to make plays and just follow up with the damage farm.
Yeah, and top lane trades for days, but Otunek's gonna get hit up by the stun, but the Black Shield nicely done. No Chain of Corruption yet. Okay, there it is, and here comes the tidal wave, and nice binding to finish off John Lee. And Astrus and Otunex looking for their second kill too, and that's a double kill for Morgana. Not ideal, but Otunex really stepping up in this series, proving to be a good upgrade in that support position that they needed. But nice trade from mid lane. Top lane though, looking for that first tower gold, and they do get it, but they're gonna get kidnapped first. And the respite comes out. Can they chunk out Mighty Meat in time? They will, and he gets the trade kill. Zac gonna try to go for the kills, and Zac does get one. Zac flashes for 2. One auto attack left. Has the orange though, And the
Ori's
barrel.
collapsing down.
Ori's coming up. Roxas can't quite, or Nova can't quite take down, but nice stopwatch. He's going to get a Q off? He does, but the W comes out, and Shockwave hits Babs, and Babs procs the ultimate for the healing, but it doesn't matter. Poorly timed ultimate from Babs. Babs really could have turned that around if he just used the ultimate before Ori ult. And despite Deep 5 Police going down 0-2, he's now 3-2 on this Ori, and Babs is 0-3.
Yeah, it looks like the kill is going in the favor of the Kindred, while it's letting him move around the map a little bit more freely. Didn't give the lead, quite a big enough lead for the Echo to really take over that lane, and the Ori's just seeming to come back in and really take over now.
Yeah, and we're seeing an 0-4 Yasuo versus a 3-1 GP with Triforce at 13 minutes. So this top lane matchup, Yasuo has almost been shut down.
And plus you have the winning bot lane as well.
Yeah.
At least 2 kills on the side of bot lane. Looks like there's a little bit of a CS lead on the brand.
Yeah.
So Fug Nuggler, staying relevant.
And again, Nova Typhoon is up a level on this mid lane matchup. Babs looking for more trades, but Babs just doesn't win trades anymore. Not strong enough. Orianna has the shield of her own, as well as a lot of auto attack damage to get these trades. Babs kind of in not panic mode, but he's trying to find himself. He's trying to find ways to be useful.
Yeah, any sort of gold you can get. You can see even Psych trying to give over the Scuttle Crab to Babs to just try and even that gold up in the mid lane.
Yasuo,
hopefully it works out in their favor.
Yasuo looking mid for a gank. He can follow up on the Shockwave, but it misses. Babs doesn't even have to ultimate that, and he uses up he starts taunting as soon as that misses, so. Pretty funny. Hitting that taunt when you're 0-3. Good stuff.
Hey, you know what? As long as he's able to back it up later. The taunts look good until, you're 0-7 or something like that, and then it's just, you have to start to wonder, maybe you should be focusing more on smaller plays instead of pressing the taunts and he dodge one ability.
Otunix finds the binding.
Otunix seeming to just, even the first game on the Bard and this game on the Morgana, just
there they
hitting
go.
almost every single binding in Q.
Taking every kill, but Astra's just not doing enough damage currently. Otunix popping off. Here comes the cannons. Here comes Babs. Gonna pick himself his first kill of the game. He's now worth gold.
A lot invested into that kill in the bot lane, though.
Yeah, big plays from leftover lads. They're not gonna get anything else. The Busaders are not gonna get anything out of it on the other side of the map. So good plays from them. I gotta sneeze.
Definitely a good heads-up play. Zach still trying to power farm and get to that level 11 as soon as possible.
Oh, sick orange from Roxas. And oh, here comes the flash ultimate from Otunix. D5 Police flashes for the first time all game and gets shut down by Babs. A second shutdown kill for Babs.
At this point, I almost start to wonder if, the players are listening in on the stream, because every time we say one player makes a mistake or, one player is doing something really well, they seem to just do the opposite a few minutes later.
And here comes Nova Typhoon, got the level 2 ult to kidnap the Kindred and destroys him before he can even use the respite. And I guess Kindred just had no mana for that? I don't know, but Zach 3-0-1 again. Going for that random, he's going for a super tanky build. And now he's looking for the Varus. Astris going to dodge the skills by just walking. Nicely done.
One thing to keep in mind, though, about this bot lane, even though they are getting a lot of pressure with, the Varus Morgana, Brand Nami's still going to be very relevant later on in the game. That Brand ultimate, just so much AoE damage when he can lay it down, if he can hit even one or two of the abilities afterwards. And then Nami's still going to push out that sustain. and have that ult for disengaged if they get too antsy upside of them.
Uh-oh, here comes Babs. Oh, John Lee gets one shot, and nice exhaust on the Mighty Mead, preventing him from doing a lot of damage. But, oh, the Echo Ultimate going back in time, 4 seconds, right back into the middle of the fight. Ori looking for the shockwave, hits it. No follow-up, though. And here comes the cannons. Can Psych Chips chase down the Ori? He can. And Leftover Lads looking to take over this game with their snowballing in the top lane and bot lane.
Exactly the kind of team fight that the Leftover Lads are looking for. They want it to be chaotic. They want players to be jumping in at different times on the side of on the side of the Busaders.
All of a sudden, Babs is just like a monster, and he can't die. And 2 minutes ago, he was like potato champion, but now he's like god champion. Rift Herald is up now. They can go ahead and take that after taking 4 towers, pardon me. This game is getting out of control. The Yasuo is not working in this particular game.
No, 6k gold lead on the side of the Leftover Lads, and their game plan of shutting down that Yasuo seems to be working wonders for them.
Yep, and Babs all of a sudden up 1.8k. The junglers are exactly even. Nova Typhoon 2 levels up on Kindred. That's kind of funny. Same exact thing happened in the last game. Yasuo is up 2,000, or GP's up 2,000 over Yasuo, and the Varus is up 1,000. So the all of the carries getting that gold, and Nova Typhoon's like, "Where's my team at?"
Very similar to what happened last week, where Nova Typhoon just doing everything he can to try and pick up any sort of pressure on the map. But there's just so many proactive plays on the other side. He's gonna need some help from his laners here to really, get back into this game.
Rift Herald now taking over. Baron will be up in a minute. Nova Typhoon gets that smite off for the Raptor. Babs is always looking to be aggressive. He's playing the Echo. He's got the barrier, even extra shielding. Astros is maxing Eon Varus into W. Not the right build anymore. Q is super good to max first. Always want to get that. And but it's not a huge deal. It's just your poke is very, very weak compared to if you had Q.
2-level lead here on this Gangplank 2 versus the Yasuo. Just makes it so difficult for the Yasuo to even try and move up and clear those waves. If you eat one barrel combo to the face, you're losing almost half your health.
Yeah, yes, Triforce. He's got the Jarum's Fist. Looking for a Asterix Gauge, probably. And uh-oh, here comes the Nova Typhoon. But no, the Rift Herald gets summoned, and now all of Busaders are running towards the mid lane, trying to say that Inhib desperately. Oh, Babs with an amazing dive onto the 2 carries. And Shockwave with the follow up with the Yasuo ultimate. Yasuo gonna pick up his first kill of the game. That's his second kill of the game. Is he gonna pick up a 3rd kill? Not quite. Oh, he does get it. That's huge for Yasuo, but in the end, it's going to be Leftover Lads winning this fight, and Nova Typhoon surviving until the very end of the fight. What? Respite being popped for no reason. And oh man, Leftover Lads getting their first inhibitor. But
21 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Yasuo getting 2 kills though. They've got to be careful about this late game that Busaders have.
Once he gets that Infinity Edge, even at 2 and 5, even being down 2 levels to the Gangplank, he's still going to be a force to be reckoned with. There's so many opportunities for him to get 3 or 4 man ultimates if they group up, that he can just shred through a team and jump through, and it's so hard to catch him once he gets popping off.
Yeah, follow that up with all the Orianna, CC, the Shockwave. You got the Zac, who has a billion forms of crowd control, and the Brand with the Pyroclasm. Going to be so sick to see a late game team fight if they get the proper setup from Busaders.
They can just try and hold off this mid lane inhib and not lose too much more. If they can make sure that they don't lose the Baron, they're still going to be able to scale up and have an opportunity to win a team fight and take over the game.
Baron is up, but there's literally no vision on that side of the map. The Busaders have a very, very slow Baron at the moment. The Brand, even though he does have, percent damage, is not quite as strong as a marksman. Once Yasuo completes the Infinity Edge, though, he'll have a ton of damage. They'll have a ton of Baron damage.
You see the leftover lads here moving back up towards the top side of the map, which is exactly, I think, what you want to do. You have the Kindred and you have the Varus, both going to be doing just stupid amounts of damage to that Baron. 2 Windrakes, too, so you can rotate through the map quickly if you have to.
Yeah, Roxas going to pressure that bottom side while the 4-man unit pressures the top. Nova looking for it, but he decides against it.
Namiel needed to get expanded there
I
just
don't
to
know.
make sure that the Echo doesn't go in and pop anybody
Oh,
out.
there he goes. The Requiem or Respite gets popped, but Echo pops Yasuo in return, and the Zac is having a hard time getting back in there. His passive procs. Echo does so much damage, and they can't do anything. That's 3 members down. They're gonna be 4 in a second. Fognuggler's super low, and he pops it. He gets the grass proc 2 and survives. That's a full
That looks like
ace.
it'll be the game.
And they're gonna end the game mid lane. They're gonna end it. So that
D5
snowball.
deletes there too, just hit an amazing ultimate, but just not enough damage to be able to take anybody out in that back end there.
Yeah, Yasuo is just too weak, and Leftover Lads going for a 23-minute win.
Exactly what we said was going to be needed out of this Leftover Lads team, that they're going to need to snowball the game if they want to win at a team fights or out-pressure them in the side lanes, and they just took over in both the mid, top, and bot lane.
Yeah, and it shows how far they've come from their performance last week. It's been about a week and a half since they played their first match, and with these new players, they were they with the new players they were able to get a very convincing win off on the Busaders, a team that no one's scoffing at, and a lot of people have them as a middle of the pack playoff team. So Leftover Lads getting some momentum here as they tie up the series 1-1.
Yeah, definitely well played, by Leftover Lads. Not too many mistakes were made, and every time there was a mistake on the side of the Crusaders, it seems like they were capitalizing on it and taking the maximum amount away from it. Nova Typhoon tried his best to pick up kills and eat some pressure here and there, but just too much pressure in too many spots on the map that he couldn't just be everywhere at the same time.
Yeah, and that's the problem with picking like a jungler like Zac into Kindred. Just even though Nova Typhoon could be infinitely times better than Psych Chimps, it's just you're not going to have that pressure, and Psych Chimps will be able to do a lot of different stuff.
Yep, Psych definitely using the strength of his laners to really push the tempo to game, and this time didn't have any, little hiccups there with ultimates, and look at how much they snowballed the game through it. Definitely a good gameplay from him. Unlucky on the blue buff early on, but it didn't seem to sway his pressure on the map. He's still able to keep pushing it strong, and they 23 minutes into the game just shows how well that they played it.
Yeah, really dominating performance. The composition that the Busaders had picked for themselves did not quite work out. Their win condition with the Yasuo getting shut down basically by himself. I feel like he got solo killed level 5 and then solo killed again after diving him. And then Kindred started ganking, and at that point Yasuo was just not strong enough at all. And so Mighty Me, if he
Yeah.
wants to pick that Yasuo, he might want to have a better matchup, one that can safely scale up.
Either that or just, there was a couple opportunities where he was really stretching to try and, get a lead as fast as possible. In that matchup, if you just, I think, allow yourself to, to scale. I know you don't really want to have the GP scale freely, but you have so much of a team comp built around you that you don't have to, overly pressure your lane. If you just scale up and farm and don't give any advantages over to the GP aside from his basic, passive and the grass poke, your team comp and team fight is just going to be so much stronger later on. So I like the pick and I like the comp on the side of Crusaders. I just think it just needs a little bit of tweaking, and it could work a lot better.
And I think the bot lane of Busaders got negative fantasy points in this game. both of them going 0-5-1, and so that's just kind of just funny, just negative
Just
fantasy
really trying to
points.
push.
So now both of these bottom lanes have gotten negative fantasy points in the game. If any of you guys
Well,
are
I guess
interested
it's
in
gonna come down to
fantasy,
the third game here to see which of these bot lanes is gonna want to take over. O2 next, just playing, I think, out of his mind right now. Both games hitting all the abilities that he needs to. That play in the bot lane, whether he hit the Q on the Orianna and flashed over to get that first inhib, just playing unreal on the support role. Hopefully, we see more of it coming into the next game.
yeah, O2X over the past 2 games has been the most consistent performer on this roster.
Showing John Lee that yes, you can steal an Elder Drake, but I can steal the game. Let's see who can. I want to see which of the two is going to really step up in the game 3 to take over the series.
This tournament code is not working for me.
So going into game 3 with the strength of Nova, I would like to see him possibly playing on a better early game aggressive champion. He's been doing really well in the scaling ones, but if he can make a few more proactive plays to get his solo laners or even his bot lane a lead, I feel like they'd be able to transition that a little bit better.
I don't think he plays those kind of champions is the problem. Which I think that gives Psych Chips the ability to basically pick any champion and say, no matter what I play, I'm going to have the early game advantage. But we have seen, though, that both games, Nova Tech has had a 2-level lead at about 20 minutes. And even though they won the game 3 minutes later, Psych Chips was still down 2 levels. So Nova Typhoon, if they don't get snowballed on, the Busaders have a really good shot of coming back because their jungler is going to be way, way more effective in most scenarios.
I think too here with the bot lane from the Crusaders, if they're gonna pick, like one of those mages like Brand and Nami that are both extremely strong laning champions, I would like to see them play a little bit more aggressive. There wasn't too much pressure in the first 10 minutes or so from the side of the leftover lads on them. So if they could push the tempo in the bot lane before, if the marksman and mage support scale up and are able to poke them out or even out the lane, if they can push that advantage, I think they can have a little bit of an easier time scaling into the late game where their team fighting just seems to be a little bit stronger. It's just getting to that point that seems to have been a little bit of a struggle here for them. Game 1, they were able to pull it back and did not concede too much pressure, and you could tell that their late game team fighting was a little bit stronger. Game 2, you can see that they snowballed too hard, that they just didn't have the proper team comp to be able to uh, eat the pressure. They didn't have too much wave clear, and it ended up costing the early game.
Yeah, and here we go. Leftover Lads chose blue side for this game 3, and they're gonna basically run it back. And let's see what adaptations both teams decide to make. I think if you're Busaders, you might want to take that Kindred off the table too, even though you're getting these level leads in the jungle. You're not getting any pressure out of it.
Yeah, both games the Kindred was able to get a couple early stacks, and it just lets the Kindred be able to run around the map and do what she wants. If you can, take away the psych on a comfortable champion and a little bit of the early game pressure, it'll definitely help your side of the jungle, scale up into that late game a little bit easier.
Leftover lads still baiting that Swain, still baiting that Irelia. Keeping
I
it
do like the
consistent.
adaptation on the red side
Ooh.
here of Ban the Morgana. Seems to be first pick worthy on blue side both games. So taking that out is definitely going to open up the champ pool a bit. It'd be interesting to see who's going to be showing up in the bot lane support role this game.
Yeah, and that does leave open Kaisa or Kindred. Either one of these champions is going to be open. Asterisk loves to play the Kaisa. And will they first pick it? Maybe not. I don't think they might not first pick it, but it's definitely something that they'll pick in the second rotation if they have it available. But there's still many options open. Akali is a thing, and Mighty Mead played it in game 1. Now Babs is going to bring it out in game 3.
Showing that they really want to have a strong laner. Akali, early levels, struggles a little bit, but once she, is able to get a couple points into her abilities, she can be such a force to be reckoned with in that mid lane. And if you get a good 2v2, shown by, Mighty Mead in game 1, you can just take over the game if you have one other, you only need one other person on your team to be relevant to take over that game.
Oh man, Jin Thresh for the first rotation, coming out picking a strong bottom lane.
This is definitely something I like to see out of the side of the Crusaders. The mages are good and they definitely change up the way the bot lane's played, but if you get a strong all-in lane, if they can be aggressive and just pressure the side of Astralis and Otanex, they can really, push that lead into the mid lane or the top lane and try and take over all points of the map instead of just, trying to scale for the late game.
Yeah, and Kai'Sa's gonna be open, so Astra's gonna pick up the Kaisa. It's been banner picked every game this season for their team. Also a Nocturne, so much assassination potential, so much backline access for this Leftover Lads team.
A lot of pressure on John Lee this game, protect, Fug on that Jin pick, as well as the mid pick that they're going to try and get later in the second part of the draft here. One thing to note too is that D5 Police and Mighty Mead did swap roles for this game. You have D5 on the top lane and Mighty Mead going back to the mid lane as he was in game 1. See if that changes up the way the matchups go.
Mighty Mead picking Scion for his team. Put meat on tank in the chat, please, boys. That's an old meme right there. Put meat on tank. Do you think we'll see a Scion mid to counter this Akali? You think that's a thing?
If you're trying specifically to get out of the kill pressure of the Akalian lane, I could see it come out. But the way that Scion doesn't really have too many poor matchups in the top lane, and he's just able to scale up there pretty freely, eat any sort of pressure in the top lane, and he becomes such a crazy meat shield in the mid game and late game. There's some games where when you have that, when you get 3 or 4 items, you can get upwards of 4,000 or 5,000 health, and just becomes so difficult for anybody on the team to kill. Even if you have the percent health damage on Kaisa, the Nocturne is not going to have an easy time killing it. The Akali is not going to have an easy time killing it. It just takes up so much extra time and pressure off the map.
And they're going to go with the new pick. So big front line right now with the Nunu and the Scion so far. Lots of CC, lots of rundown potential. And last rotation for Leftover Lads. Let's see what they are going for.
Yeah, side of Busaders looking like they're going for a team fight composition yet again. I think that's the right choice for them. With Fugnugler on the top side, it was okay for them to have the 4-1 composition, but I do believe that they do better in a team fight scenario.
And
And
Oren Braum, a pretty solid front line for the team. Good engage. Really, really good engage. Good follow up with Nocturne with the Orn ult. So, pretty interesting composition from Leftover Lad. And let's see what the Busaders do to finish off their comp with mid lane pick. Do, do, do.
Jace with the fifth pick.
Jace.
This does kind of put a bit of a timer on the side of the Crusaders, though. They do have the 3 AD champions in the Sion, Jin, and Jace. I mean, Sion does a little bit of AP, but he's more so looked at as just a tank. Maybe we'll see a AP Nunu coming out of the jungle on Nova, but if they don't get too much of a lead, Ornn and Braum are just going to be so hard to kill later on in the game. Especially with Jin, he doesn't do any percent health damage. Jace is going to be probably going for a lethality build, so any sort of armor on the side of leftover lads is just going to make killing anybody so difficult.
Yeah, let's see how this Jace can punish this Akali in the early laning phase. Because after sixes hit, this Nocturne Akali combo is going to be extremely threatening. And basically, the R buttons on Leftover Lads are super threatening all around. And if you look at the ultimates that the Busaders have, Jace doesn't have an ultimate ability. Uh, Sion and Nunu. Nunu is like a old ability. Nunu ultimate is not going to be all that good, just because Akali has so many dashes. Well, actually, Nunu ult could be pretty good into this new Akali because you have less dashes, and you want to sit in that shroud. So Nunu potentially can just press R while Akali's obscured and pop her.
Yeah, it's going to require a lot of vision on the side of Crusaders here to keep track of where the Nocturne is going. Very similar to playing against the Zac. You want to be able to, if you're the Nunu, I believe, counter gank as effectively as you can post 6, because if that Nocturne gets in on the Jace or the Jin with the Akali there or the Kaisa there, they're just gonna get blown up. Like there's too many like high damage threats with the Kaisa, Akali, and Nocturne that these champions are just gonna get blown up. You have to be prepared, and you have to know when they're gonna come in and position properly, or else you're just gonna get blown up, and you're not gonna have any really chance to get out of that.
Yeah, so I was thinking it could have potentially been something like a Scion mid, and then just like another tank top, or maybe even like a Galio mid with the Scion top, and just have super beefy composition and just play around bot lane and just go for so many dives. That would have been a pretty interesting comp to see. But they're gonna go with the Jace pick. It should be a lane bully into this Akali, but it'll have a little bit of trouble after the sixes hit, and Nocturne can just jump on top of him. We'll see how Mighty Me can play the Jace.
Yeah, definitely a lot of opportunities for Mighty Me to get leads early on. Once he does get, just that first serrated Dirk, he's going to be doing a lot of damage to the Akali. Hopefully, she realizes, like, on the side of leftover lads, most of these champions should be getting the um, Ninja Tabby, for that early auto damage and poke
Oh
from
yeah.
all these AD champions. If she goes for more of a kill potential, though, she's going to have to play that early laning phase extremely well, or she's going to lose a lot of early lead or early pressure. And Jace is still a tough champion to play against until you do get to that mid game beefy state that you're going to want to with the Ornn and the Braum.
I'm surprised that they went with the Jin in the bottom lane, because Astrus, everyone knows Astrus likes to play Kai'Sa, basically Kai'Sa one trick, and Jin is not a super good matchup into that, but paired with the Thresh, it could potentially be a winning matchup. We'll have to see how that goes as we head into the loading screen after our spectator delay.
I'm excited to see how John Lee does here on the Thresh in the early game. A lot of that's going to dictate how this lane's going to go. Once Kaisa obviously does get that item advantage, she does lose the early pressure to Jin because of his high burst damage. But Kaisa will eventually, like you said, just out ramp with the attack speed and the mobility. So looking a lot to John Lee to try and make some proactive plays early on to get this lead and get them rolling into the mid game.
Yeah, I think this game is going to really come down to the mid jungle. Looking at this Jace pick, the last pick of the draft. It's going to be super volatile pick just because Nocturne will be able to jump on him very, very easily. He'll be pushed up in the lane just because Jace will be able to bully out the Akali. So it'll be pretty interesting to see. But as both teams, we're seeing an invade, a group up in the bottom lane for leftover lads.
Good to note here too, the Jin did opt in for the teleport instead of the heal. So that could potentially give them a little bit more of a kill pressure once that Nocturne hits level 6 bot lane. So hopefully look for the bot lane of the Busaders to try and get an early lead. Look to poke out early so that they can get that quick back in the TP and try and push the tempo as fast as possible.
Both teams going around, looking for some free pickings, but neither of them will bite. They're just going to go reward the respective jungle. And Akali's going to recall. Is Akali going top lane? Yeah, Babs is going top lane. My allergies are acting up. But yeah, Akali's going to go top lane, and they're going to put Ornn mid into Jace. All right, we're seeing a lane swap happening. This matchup must be really bad for Babs if they're putting an Ornn into it, because it's good for Jace too. Jace is good as well. And at this moment, they're like, what the heck? They're putting Akali top? But yeah, it's going to happen. And level 2 gank, Fognuggler has to burn the flash immediately, but Kai'Sa's looking for that flash. The Braum stun procs, but there's no way you kill that guy. That was ambitious, to say the least. So, Jin burning flash and Kai'Sa burning flash. Does leave openings up for both junglers to gank again.
Yeah, and I haven't seen Nova playing around the bot lane too much this game or this series, so maybe this time having an early flash blown, it'll give him more reason to play around that bot side with Thresh engage. Nocturne again with the gank.
Flashing the Jace Q, I mean, sure. I mean, not flashing the Nocturne Q. I mean, that's interesting. I feel like Nocturne is now just going to really just hard camp mid and let Akali farm.
Yeah, there shouldn't be too much kill pressure in that top lane for the. Well, as I say that, I look at the.
As you say that, D5 police can like almost kill him. Oh, the grass prog hits. Babs got to be a little bit careful. He's punching into death. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Mighty Mead low on mana. Snowball coming through. Biggest snowball ever. Going to roll, and it's going to actually just miss. So, anticlimactic right there. But Fug. Roxas is going to get ignited. Nunu gonna flash on the Jace, both of them. And Nocturne is going to get first blood. But Nova Typhoon is going to get that rebuttal kill and flash away. So 1 for 1, both junglers. Actually, Ornn picking up a kill and Nunu picking up a kill. Roxas flashed away for no reason. Or the D5 police. That was really weird. All these players are on edge, I think, in this high pressure situation.
Game 3 situation, the players are just being as respectful to their opponents as possible. Maybe a little bit too respectful.
Pressing F to pay respect.
And you know what? Now across the board, aside from the supports, nobody with flash up. So lots of gank opportunities in just about every single lane. Junglers with full reign about what they want to do.
Yeah, every lane is gankable, especially mid lane. Top lane probably gankable too. Nunu looking for that biggest snowball ever. Will he use it in the top lane? I don't know. Babs has no teleport, which is going to give Sion inherently an advantage in the wave management situation. Uh, Same as mid lane essentially, but Jace will be able to bully out the Ornn harder. And oh, look at that nice trade. Gonna take a lot of damage though from that minion wave. And oh, Psych Chimp's looking for a gank in the mid lane, but Nunu gonna show up. Psych Chimp's gonna get rooted by the Nunu, but he's super low. Nova Typhoon gonna get taken down potentially, but yeah, he does. And Sion, one auto attack away from killing Nunu or Nocturne, and he's got the shield. Will he get it? He's gonna just walk up and get one kill. He has the roar for two, and he just gets in the hitbox. What is that hitbox? That is a very
forgiving hitbox.
Yeah, a very generous hitbox. And wow, Sion picking up that double kill, 2 for 1.
That's gonna make this top lane very difficult for the Akali. In a melee versus melee matchup, that Sion is just gonna, you know, push you off so many CS, because you're just gonna get completely out-traded. I don't even think Akali can burst through that shield in the early levels here, especially with the no magic mantle and having the corrupting potion.
Yeah, and oh, gonna stop the recall, kind of troll, but that will positively affect the lane for Babs on this Akali pick.
Be interesting to see if perhaps they opt into lane swapping back after the early levels once maybe Akali gets level 6 and has a little bit more laning pressure against the Jace. Yeah,
I feel like that would be a good move. Roxas is gonna be, it does have some sort of kill pressure on Jace. Jace is like always poked out. There's just you just have such good trading potential with your Bellows Breath, the W. But oh, the Forge God, there it is. He's coming in. He's got the knock up in the brittle, and boom, there's the lantern, but not in time. Jace just gets taken out for free by an Ornn, and giving over the kill to Psych Chimp is super helpful.
John Lee trying his best, you know, to preemptively roam up to save him there, but just wasn't able to get there fast enough. Utilizing the no flash and the Jace makes the kill so easy once you get that Ornn ultimate. Gets level 6 and pops it 10 seconds later.
Yeah, and they can basically do that every 2 minutes when Ornn ult is up repeatedly. Sion has the ultimate, he's going to use it. He has the kill potential. He's looking for it. There he goes, unstoppable, but very easily dashed away by Babs. Babs going to look for another trade, but nice dodge on all the skills. Akali has the ultimate. Maybe he's going to regret that decision, though, because Sion looking pretty, like, has the blood in his eyes. Or has I'm tired.
Akali really playing with fire up there. Yeah, jumping in on the Sion, you know, she does have the dash to get back out, but if you make one mistake there, that Sion is just gonna eat you up.
Yeah,
so I do like the aggressiveness, but she
very punishing.
Yes, gotta be careful, because if you get too far behind in that matchup, Sion is just gonna she's just gonna start ignoring you and just take your tower.
And yeah, both bot laners are finally going to be able to recall for the first time. And Kai'Sa with the Doran's Ring looking to go for that Rage Blade first build, so full AP essentially. Jhin able to purchase a lot of the components of the Storm Razor, a super strong first item spike for him.
I would like to see Nova looking towards the bot lane on the side of Busaders right now. You do have the damage advantage with the Jhin having the BF double longsword versus the recurve bow and the pickaxe. They're gonna win the bigger, like the long trades with the recurve bow. But if you go for an all-in, I feel like the Crusaders should just straight up win that.
Uh-oh, Darkness coming through. He's gonna jump right on top of Mighty Mead, and he's gonna get. Actually, Nunu is gonna just burst him down with the help of Jace, and Thresh coming in with the flash hook And Bugnuggler looking for the opening up on the curtain call. That's going to be a double kill for Mighty Mead, and actually Nunu gets taken out by Akali, but in the end, Thresh auto-attacks Akali for a 1-for-3 in the favor of Busaders.
And this is exactly what we were talking about in Champ Select, is that Nova Typhoon is going to have to be really good on his timing on reacting to the Nocturne ult, and he was there at the perfect time. He read it like a book, and 4 members even move into the mid lane to try and counteract that first Nocturne ult.
Yeah, and Roxas looking for blood. Nice hook onto the Nocturne, keeping his Jace safe, but Kaisa gonna flash on top of Bugnuggler. 1 auto attack away, uses the killer instinct, and picks up 2 kills for his jungler. So return kills upon return kills. I think we're gonna see another game 1 all over again.
Yeah, fighting off a little bit more than they can shoot from the side of the Crusaders. And good reaction, or good back there.
And Mighty Mead biting off more than he can chew. He gets taken down pretty easily by the entire Leftover Lads roster, but biggest snowball ever coming out. Roxas gonna get taken down super low, not dead yet, but there it is, the chomp coming through, and the fear gonna make Nunu walk away. Braum though has to burn flash, and Snowball, this is tiny Snowball coming through. More fights happening though. Babs with the Akali going in with a strike, the first strike. Gonna flash away. Sion
both sides here not respecting the early game death timers.
More snowballs.
Not realizing that, you only have a 10 or 15 second death timer here with everyone still under level 10. But like a 2-minute long fight there. Finally the Crusaders will get that first tower.
Yeah, big fight, and what started in the mid lane with Busaders going for the tower turns into the Leftover Lads looking for the tower, and then Busaders finally get the tower after another fight. But
to put it into perspective, the Nocturne ult is back up, and the fight just ended 15 seconds ago. So that entire cooldown of where the Nocturne ult was the one that started that fight is already back up.
Yeah, so you can
look for them to make a play here on the top side.
Yeah, you can guesstimate that was about 2 minutes of fighting, but Nocturne, Darkness coming over. Jace cannot flash away. Gonna get feared up, giving over that kill to Babs, but Nunu has a big snowball. Doesn't really do anything with it though. Just knocks up the Ord and then laughs and walks away. Rift Herald is a thing that Leftover Lads do have priority of now. And they will be able to take it.
Prioritizing that ultimate there with going for the Caulfield instead of going for the Serrated Dirk after getting his Warrior enchantment.
Yeah, he's gonna go for either the Duskblade or the Yomu's. Either one really, but extra 10% on the ultimate. It does reduce the ultimate cooldown by like 20 seconds at least, but Nocturne gonna get hit by the hook, but the curtain call comes through, and now there's Sion actually gets blocked by the Ornn Pillar, but looks like the Busaders are gonna actually just walk up and steal that Rift Herald. And there's still more fights to come. The hook misses and Jomli's gonna get taken out super low, but in the meantime, Killer Instinct pops from Kaisa. Nunu chasing down the Kaisa in the backline, but take a look at your own backline, Nova. The Akali is just doing mad work, and the Nocturne.
D5 Police trying his best to peel for his team, but just everybody jumping around all over the place. He can't find a target to peel for properly.
Yeah, exactly. Nunu and Sion, they can't really deal with these super mobile characters like Nocturne and Kaisa and Akali who just jump around in the fight. And slowly but surely, Sion's going to get taken down. And that's basically an ace.
Very well team fight on the side of the Leftover Lads there. Just, mixing the team fight up, making sure that the Sion pick, although he's strong and tanky as hell, not able to properly peel for anybody.
At this point,
Jin just getting run down.
Yeah, at this point in the game, it's just the Leftover Lads team comp is just so much easier to execute than the Busaders. And they got the Herald, which will help them out. They'll get a tower with that, but the Kaisa, the whole composition is just so easy to work around. You just wait for your moment to dive in, and you do. So like, if the front line from the Busaders is not there to actually help out the Jhin and the Jace, he's just gonna get obliterated.
And already you can see on the side of the Leftover Lads, sorry, all the armor coming in. You have the Seeker's Arm Guard in the top, like the Akali. You have the Righteous Glory and Ninja Tabby on the Ornn. They're just not going to take too much damage right now in these team fights, so you can get some penetration on the side of the Crusaders.
Yeah, Jace looking for that armor pen item. Jhin gonna go for the full crit build, so probably won't get some penetration until Last Whisper. But yeah,
Jhin,
Ornn,
gotta be careful coming over here on the bot side of the map. Nocturnal is up.
yeah, he does have the ultimate available. It has the Duskblade proc too. Duskblade just about like 200 more damage on that burst, so big spike for him.
Nocturne with such a big lead right now. Easily catch out either that Jace or the Nocturne.
Yeah, but here comes the Forge God. It's going to hit the Scion, but he's just going to take a Lantern and walk away. A little snowball coming out from Nova. That's all he can do, really. But there's an Ocean Dragon that's going to be fought after here. The Curtain Call coming through. Akali's going to look for her moment to strike. Nova looks for the moment to go in there and steal it, but he can't. But a huge Scion Q from D5 Police, and Psych Chimps is just too low. Gonna get Jhin knocked down pretty low, but not gonna take him out. And Babs, he has the ultimate available. And there he goes. Doesn't hit the stun, but he is gonna kill that Jace off pretty easily. And I don't think they can actually kill this Akali right here. Oh, he had the second part of it. Oh, the outplay from Babs. That was nuts, turning it from a team fight from a loss to a basically even slate. And Nova Typhoon just walking into a 2v1. He knew they were both there, so that's confusing. But he's going to get flashed on, and the Electrocute procs, and Babs looking to chase down Nova. Nova going to look for it. He has the Chomp. He's got a Snowball potentially he could use to run away, but he's not going to be able to get that. And oh, is he going to press E again? Press E again? No, it doesn't do it. And Nova makes it out alive.
A little bit too much respect coming out of Babs there, but you know, he played that team fight underneath the Dragon Pit extremely well. Dodged out from the Scion and was able to pick off the Jace and the Thresh.
Yeah, it looked like a really nice fight there from Busaders, but in the end, Akali basically saving that fight. Akali's now 6 kills. Nocturne and Akali with all these kills is really, really important.
Good flash there from the Jace. Almost certain death if he gets hit with the Braum falling up behind. One thing to note too here, there's 10 stack Dark Seal on the side of Akali.
Oh, gonna get that Magi's proc. And oof, another Forge God coming through. Gets to use it before the hook lands. And John Lee gonna be overextending. Curtain Call coming through. But Ornn is so tanky right now. I don't know what they can really do. Jace gonna try and get his damage down, but there's just so much free damage on Leftover Lads, and the damage all coming from the Jace and Jhin really is hard to actually do anything. Psych Chimp's going a little too deep there. Kaisa gonna kill Instinct, but the red buff from Psych Chimps will take out the Jhin. Akali gonna go ham. They're all diving beyond this tower, and Akali is still alive and well in the back line, obscured from the Shroud, and goes for the stun and has the second part. No, not there. Used it both already. And Abyssal Mask doing a lot of work. And Scion's going to get out alive. Nova Typhoon will not, though, and get a shutdown gold.
9 kills over the Akali now. That is a scary champion.
Yeah, they can't deal with this Akali. Nocturne going in too deep, otherwise it's hard for them to deal with him. And yeah, Kaisa eventually is going to be a major problem for this Nunu in particular, just because Nunu really can't target anything. So Kaisa is going to be super free roaming around that backline. And this Jace right now, 2 and 7, super weak. Like,
yeah, definitely. You know, bringing out a little bit of the NA Jace meme with this performance. Kind of difficult though into the Ornn. He lost a lot of his laning pressure, which I'm sure the pick was more so centered to try and, you know, make the Akali not have an opportunity to snowball. Maybe could have seen, you know, a lane swap from the Jace and the Scion after, you know, the first few minutes laning phase after the first back. But But so far, it seems like a lot of smart plays coming out of the leftover lads here. Definitely making themselves look like a stronger team than their performance last week.
And Jin also no kills, 0, 3, and 4. So the threats on this side of leftover lads have all the kills right now, but the threats for the Busaders really have none.
Yeah, and you can really tell in that last team fight that Cyan wasn't there at the start of it. So as soon as they see, you know, that they have an opportunity to engage with Cyan not there, the leftover lads are going to jump on it at every opportunity they can. A lot of that gold is put over onto the Cyan, and getting through the Cyan to the back line is what's really going to stop the leftover lads from taking this game completely into their, into the base and taking out the Nexus turrets. So they almost need to just.
Oh, yeah, Bab's just too easy right now. The back line of Busaders is just way too weak and really can't get anything done right now. Roxas going to get taken down though, and so will O2nix, but that doesn't even matter. These kills are almost irrelevant at this point just because of how far ahead this backline slaying team from leftover lads are. Nova throwing a snowball, but Nunu lol. This champion.
Again, just the back line of the Busaders is just not having any room to breathe. The Nocturne and Akali are just able to get in there and do whatever they want, it seems, the back line, and they just don't have any secondary damage.
They almost have no backline at all. Jace has 8 deaths right now.
It's a 2-level advantage for Astrus over top of Fug, as well as a 1-level advantage for Babs over top of, with Mighty Mead, and that's just... You just don't want to see that, when you have 2 scaling champions versus 2 early game champions. Do you think it would be the other way around?
And Busaders might look to pick up an Infernal Dragon. Can they steal it while the leftover lads are still recalling? Yeah, they do. They're able to grab it with the Consume Smite combination. And they're looking for Roxas in the mid lane. Roxas has no ultimate up just yet. He's going to get hit by that biggest snowball ever, followed up by the root. And Scion Q actually misses, but Nocturne going in. Flashing away from the Lantern is Nova, or a Fugnuggler. But he's going to get that GA proc, and Akali is doing so much work. And Akali goes back into the Shroud, obscured once again. Orin misses the Forge God's second part of it, but it doesn't even matter. This game is just gonna get snowballed so hard in the favor of leftover lads. Like, these team fights, just no damage from Busaders. Leftover lads free to do whatever they want, and they're gonna take this inhibitor at 22 minutes, up 10,000 gold. Potentially gonna look for an end of the game right now.
And it's hard for the side of Mighty Mead and Fug to try and get out of these fights. Like, you seen Fug, he got the Thresh Lantern, he was able to flash out.
Wait, they can't end it right now.
He had the Scion in front of him, and they just couldn't do anything. There's just way too much dive potential on the side of leftover lads. Braum looking for the slow there instead of just knock up. Making sure that nobody can fall on the side of leftover lads so they don't concede that Baron. Because I feel like that at this point, that's one of the only things that can really get the Busaders back into the game. They need something drastic to happen in the next few minutes or they're just going to lose the game. Like, side of the Busaders here, they have to find a pick on either the Kaisa or the Akali, or even perhaps Nocturne. Akali might be the hardest one to get, but if you can pick off the Nocturne or the Kaisa, that's going to eat some time away from, pressuring your lanes, and might give you a little bit of time to scale up a little bit more.
Oh, there's the pick on the Kaisa, but Kaisa procs the Killer Instinct and actually just takes out Jim, and there's just no damage! Just right-click to death, oh my gosh.
Just
and
no
there's the
flash on the
flash.
side of Crusaders there. Jace going in and found the good pick, but nobody followed up to try and get that kill, and Kaisa just running them over.
There was no follow-up at all. Jace got the burst damage, but Kaisa just had so much sustain. Fleet footwork with the ability power build. Make sure that, she just survives. Just after that, there's just no extra damage, and Jin just has negative damage. It makes Kaisa look like super power champion, makes Jin look like a potato champion. 0 and 6 on the Jin. And at 24, 25 minutes, I think we're going to see the end of the game right here, but Busaders going to look for more fights with the snowball coming in from Nunu. And yeah, just Astra's going to start cleaning up all these kills right now. And they're going to pick up that second win, their first season victory. And they're trying to show that they're a contender.
Yeah, the early game prowess from the side of the leftover lads just coming on, showing to be too hard for the Busaders to deal with their late game scaling type style. And just very well played in that game by the side of the leftover lads.
Yeah, that's a doozy of a series, and nice adaptations from the leftover lads. Getting aggressive, getting early leads in all 3 games, and without the Hecarim in the way from Nova Typhoon, they're really able to get those. They're really able to get those snowballs into fruition and able to actually transition into real leads with them.
Definitely, and easily could have been a 2-0 as well. It was a well fought back game on the side of Crusaders in game 1 there. Hecarim really taking it over, but the just leftover lads resilient as hell, and just kept putting the pressure on them in the early game and not giving any room for the Crusaders to try and trade back.
Yeah, and let's think about who we want to have it for an interview here.
I wouldn't mind seeing Sykes come in. He in such a tough matchup against Nova, he didn't seem scared at all to try and push the tempo and get in there and trade and push advantages before Nova could really scale up.
Yep, and let me bring in that Psych Chimp, man. Where the heck is the caster desk? There it is. Yo, what's up, dog?
How's it going, Psych?
What's up?
So you picked up your first win, and how does it feel to get that first win under your belt?
It feels really good. It feels really good. I think we worked hard in scrims and we made adjustments that actually made us win this today.
How was it coming out of game 1?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. How was it coming out of game 1? You guys looked like you had the game in your hands. Like a couple different opportunities, it seemed like you guys had. Were able to just one more team fight, close it out, and then slipped. And then coming into game 2, you guys seemed clear-headed and didn't even realize. Like it didn't even seem like you guys had any falters in game 1. That you guys just came out and did the same kind of idea. Like, how'd you guys keep such a calm head?
So first game we were just messing around, like we got fed and then we're just messing around thinking it was game over. We just basically did a mental reset and said, hey, we're gonna play this right. We're gonna communicate, because first game we barely communicated. We just did plays on our own, but we communicated and we just played together the rest of the games.
Yeah, definitely looking like you guys were being way more proactive in your plays. Just pushing the tempo the entire time. All 3 games, you guys didn't seem to let up at all. So it's definitely exciting to watch.
Yeah, it was great to play against them. I think all our lanes played really well. The pressure they didn't have much pressure. I'm pretty sure they had a different mid laner, so that was we exploited that really well too.
Yeah, and did you expect to basically get 3 winning jungle matchups just because of his champion pool being pretty small?
Yes, I knew I was aware that he only played tanks, so I just played around that. I went to get aggressive picks to get priority in the pressure, and I just like was able to snowball every lane usually. Since it was like so easy, since it was just playing the tank.
Yeah, I agree. And how did it? What are your thoughts on Nova Typhoon? Because he has like, he's pretty good at like, of course, but he got these like experience leads every game. Like he was up 2 levels on you in the first two
Yeah.
games.
Well, what I would do is like since we had vision, I would see him go into my jungle and take my camps, and I would just pressure the opposite lane and get a kill. So he would take CS
Oh,
and get levels, but I would just take I would instead get pressure and kills in other lanes. So
Yeah,
that was
definitely.
a trade off.
Yeah, you definitely had more lane pressure in that series, and I think the
Yeah.
jungle picks had a big factor in that. But Astris, since you were saying you wanted so badly, I brought you in here. How's it going, man?
what's up, bro?
Doing pretty good.
Well, I'm waiting for my questions so I can pop off.
All right,
Also,
so how did it feel getting that first Prophecy Cup W in season
Dude, all these
6?
fucking teams are garbage. I don't know what happened. Nah, it felt pretty good. I mean, I get to yell at people more, and we win games, so it works.
Oh, nice.
How are you feeling when that Jace jumped in on you right at the end of game 3 there? You looked like you didn't even try and run away. As soon as the Jace jumped in, you looked like you just wanted to fight him right away. Like you
Straight
didn't
up?
seem scared at all.
Straight up, I'll be honest with you. I'm tabbed out in Discord, adding Fugnug, okay? And I'm like, you're a fucking virgin Jin player. And then I tab back in, and I made jump by a Jace player. I'm like, oh shit, he probably can kill me. And then, I don't know, I hit him and he died. And I was like, wait, what happened?
Pretty sure you could have just not played that game and you would have won 4v5.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't, I don't know. Nobody didn't play map really well.
that
And
kind of hurts trying to carry Astros.
B's fucking garbage, to be honest with you.
But no, you played pretty well, and I forget what champions you played in the first 2 games, but you played the Varus Morgana lane that one game. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I played 3 different
That's
champions
like
this whole series.
Wow, very diverse.
I'm a diverse player.
Get a load of this guy. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think of the bot lane of the Busaders? Picking these mage champs, all that crap.
Okay, they definitely have a different playstyle compared to the other teams. We scrimmed them actually a lot lately, and they pulled out some crazy stuff against me. And I mean, Brand's not too crazy, but like I don't know, they definitely have a weird dynamic bot lane. I don't see it working as well as some of the other bot lanes, but they can definitely cheese the games out of other teams. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I have one question for your. What do you guys think is gonna happen? Like, how do you think you'll do next week against Vortex? I'll ask you, Astros, first. Since I guess you have to leave.
I know you're in the call, and I don't want to call you out, so I think they got some good players. I think they got some bad players. Now Vortex is a really good team. I don't know if we keep playing the same way that we've been playing and not troll like we did game 1. Definitely just kind of roll them because they're garbage.
Well, I think Jungle is gonna stomp that game, but it depends if bot lane can carry their weight.
Hold up.
It'll be a fun series.
Is
Hopefully,
I think
both
it will.
sides.
is there gonna be a bot lane that goes 0-10-0?
Hey, all I'm saying is if we win, it would be worst team becoming the best team. So
Yeah, you guys.
10th to Worlds? Is that leftover lads?
Not very many expectations coming into this week when you're looking at the, what is that? When you guys are like trying to set up the ranking system, nobody really rated you guys super high.
The reveal show?
Yeah, the reveal, like not the reveal show, like the second week where they're doing this readjust the standings and the talk show and that.
Oh yeah.
well, we didn't have a set lineup for there, and like I feel like our first game was not a judge of our skill or how we play.
That was just really just too good, honestly. And
Yikes.
I'm not gonna say names. We had some players on the team that weren't. Well, we had a player on the team that wasn't that good.
You guys
And-
made the proper roster adjustments to come and
Yeah.
win this series.
I don't know about benching our mid laner, but there was definitely a player that wasn't that good, and it's unlucky. So yeah,
You guys definitely shutting up the critics, coming out with such high tempo and just 2 quick victories in game 2 and 3. See if maybe there'll be a little bit more respect towards you guys coming into going into week 3. You guys coming off a win, Vortex coming off a loss, so Favoring
who do
you guys.
Who do you guys lose to?
We lost to Sentinels.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, no. You guys had the roster problems and everything because no one
Yeah,
was there. That's right.
we also played with our mid laner and in the bot lane,
Yeah,
and
I
we had our
remember that.
coach mid. So
That
still,
was- yeah.
we'll see if there's any sort of mental boom or what's going on going into next week, right?
But hey, you guys earned enough respect from me to maybe have you guys lose 1-2 rather than 0-2 to Vortex next week. I'll give you that much. But yeah, you guys had a pretty good series. I think game 2 was really a really solid win as well. Babs didn't look too hot on the Echo, and then all of a sudden, like, he was God champion, and I was like, what the heck? He just went from 0-3 to like 3-4, but he was still like super hard to kill.
I'll be honest. Game 2, I wasn't even thinking about winning. I was thinking about stats. So.
Weren't you like 1-1
We all
and 8?
were.
Yeah, dude. That's why the whole game I was like 0-0 and 8 the whole game. I was
Hey, man,
just chilling.
that's okay. That's like every third Yeet game is just I get to just chill
God, I wish I had those games.
and have a 20 kill Irelia on my team.
Must be nice.
Feels pretty good, man.
Hey, yo, shout out to Tasek for the mental reset for me. Thanks, bro.
All right, fuck you guys. I gotta go. See you guys later.
Yeah, I don't have
Thanks,
any
man.
more questions.
Yep, that's it from us. So, good job, Leftover Lads, on your securing your first win, and hopefully many more to come. And that'll be it on Sunday, our last match of Season 2. We're going to have the Bad Boys against the Sad Boys. It's going to be a hyped matchup. Hope to see y'all there. It's at 9:30 Eastern Time. See y'all then.